What's going on, everybody? What's going on? Welcome back again to another podcast episode of Bunker Brothers. What's going on, Pop Tart Professor? I haven't seen you guys for a while. We've been sick, so it's been like I want to give you like a across the United States hug. All right, like I feel you.
Hey.
I miss you. I love you. What's going on?
I just had a birthday.
Wait, what?
Yeah, the 24th.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, all right.
How old are
Yeah,
you?
yeah,
Hey, you know who?
Don't
Hey,
do
listen.
that.
You know
I'm
what
18.
though?
I'm 18.
I'm 18.
You're 18, and guess what? Like my birthday is on the 6th of next month, so we got our birthday pretty close. Hey,
Oh,
you old as shit. Fuck you, Odin son. What's up?
Damn, Odin.
So, small disclaimer, real quick. I know the video that I created to show off our awesome guests. We had to have one was a little overworked at work, and she couldn't make it, but we got two more coming in, so I didn't want to leave them out in the video, and I want to apologize. I'm sorry that I wasn't fast enough to be able to edit it in, but hey, listen, it's how the world turns. So, Pop-Tart, since you have more, let's say, well, you just know them better than me. Why don't you go ahead and tell everybody about our guests and what tonight's podcast is all about.
All right, so tonight we have the infamous, awesome human being that I've actually gamed with, Miss Jenna B. We have Mariah Peoples joining us. She was one of the awesome people that helped out because we were short a guest. So she stepped up. I really appreciate that. And thank you from the bottom of my heart. We have Miss Sammy XO, who low key, I watch some of her streams. I'll be in there. She be frying. Frying. I'm like, ooh.
We see you down there.
And
Yeah,
then
sure, be fine.
we have Miss Etch Sketch 16, who's also someone who came in clutch and helped bring this together. So without me rambling anymore, the topic for today's podcast is, insights of a female content creator. A few weeks ago, we did a podcast where we spoke on the toxicity inside of the gaming community, and my brain, big brain moves. We touched on like the treatment of females in the gaming space, right? And how deplorable it is and how it has become commonplace. But us as men, it'd be disingenuous for us. We can understand, but we'll never truly understand because we're not women. We're not females, and it would be criminal for us to try to tell that story or try to give those experiences when we've never lived them. So we came up with this today to let these ladies get their, just give us insight on what they go through on a daily, their highs, their lows, things they've seen. And I'm really excited for this because this is something that, me personally, I'm just really interested in. Hey, let's get it.
Odin knows what's up.
You ain't right.
No,
All right, guys.
My timeline is blowing up right now. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it is. Last but not least, let's get everybody in here. Give me a quick second to make sure everything's organized, and we're going to but we're going to have them introduce themselves and tell us about what they do.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
What it do? Who want to go first?
Let's get the organization
There we go.
there. There
All
we
right,
go.
There
we
we
got
go.
it fixed.
Yeah,
Quick,
there we
let's
go.
go. I play Tetris. Let's go.
Lucky Miss Sammy, let's hear you first. Introduce yourself.
Okay. My name is Sammy. I'm married. I have 2 kiddos, and I mainly stream just Warzone. I'd like to get into other games, but right now it's just Warzone and Call of Duty in general. I love Call of Duty.
I need to get you out of COD. We need to play Cursed or something
Wrong.
because
My oldest tried to get me into
God's
Apex,
toxic.
but
Mm.
ooh,
Apex is worse too.
I just couldn't. Mind you, he
Miss-
left me. He left me high and dry, so I was not gonna do so well.
Miss Sammy and I'm just going to say, are batting 100%. We played one game, and we've won one game.
Yep.
Well, I
it was
mean,
a
I
good
guess
game.
if you quit when you're ahead, you're always ahead.
That's right.
That's how
That's
the
right.
world works. Mm-mm.
It was a
All
good
right.
game.
It is. It was. Go ahead, Miss. Etch a Sketch. Oh, sorry. There's no Miss in your name. Sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. I'm Etch a Sketch or Katie or Etch or whatever you want to call me. I pretty much answered anything. I am a variety streamer, so I do Warzone, but my main game's probably more Sea of Thieves. But I also do
Ooh.
ASMR, so I do a little bit of everything.
Please teach me the way of Sea of Thieves. We will collab.
Miss Genevieve.
Hi, my name is Jen, Genevieve. I stream full time on Twitch, and I've been on Twitch for, oh my goodness, since 2015, streaming since 2017. I play a variety of games. I play a lot of Siege. I just started playing a story game on stream for the first time, which is completely out of my comfort zone. And I have done one ASMR stream, so I can't say much about that world. But that's a little bit about me.
Can I just input one thing
Mhm.
to anyone that's watching, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I play Rainbow, I play Siege." Don't
You
do
ain't
it to
gonna hang.
Don't do it to
You're
yourself.
not gonna hang.
Don't do
Yeah.
it to yourself.
Miss Mariah Peoples.
All right. Hi, I'm Mariah. I just started streaming in December, so still kind of new, but I consider myself a variety streamer. But I like to play like spooky games. I play a lot of Phasmophobia. I play random things like Fall Guys, First Class Trouble, Among Us, all that kind of fun stuff. Yeah, I'm still kind of, new in the game, but I've been around Twitch for a really long time.
Nice,
Oh, yeah.
nice.
I don't like when you play Among Us. Are you just playing with your community and people of that community? Because I've tried to play Among Us with randoms, and it's like, unless we're the imposter, I'm gonna quit.
So, yeah,
Oh,
And
no,
I'm
I
so
definitely.
tired. I'm so
Yeah.
tired of that. Like,
Yeah,
just play the game. Just
I
what happened to this? Like, where did gaming go? Where this like instant gratification of I need to be the villain? Like, why can't we just play?
Yeah, I pretty much only play with either my community or viewers or friends. I don't really play like in random lobbies just because of that, and people can be really toxic and gross, and yeah, it's just not stream friendly most of the time. So
Oh my
Just
god!
tell them to refresh.
Kenshin about to give me a heart attack out here. I was like, not like this, but no, I don't want to become famous either. That's
Yeah.
Hey,
I
listen, I gotta teach
Random?
you. I
I
would
suggest
about Cloudbot.
Among Us, you definitely need to kind of line up people to play with, or else you're gonna get stuck with, like I say, playing with people that you don't know. You're gonna have to message and text chat, and that gets it's just annoying.
It's messy.
It's
yeah,
awful.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
it's
that's
not
what the
good.
game was designed to do. It's more or less a
Mhm.
fact where it's like, I know that you're playing with a younger crowd half the times when you're in a random lobby. But what I don't like is if they're not the imposter, it's not fun for them.
Right.
I think it's harder to play and more fun to play as not the imposter because you're always on your toes.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know.
God.
Imposter's pretty fun.
I personally hate being imposter, so if I'm a crewmate, I'm cool. I'm solid.
Yeah. Just let me do my tasks. I
Yeah,
really,
let me mind my business.
I really don't need the anxiety from being imposter.
Exactly.
Yeah, I could see how that would. Yeah. I don't know. I don't get anxiety. I don't really fear much. So I don't know how to relate on that level of emotion.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that I can say is like I'll get like in scare games, I've never been a jump scare person ever. And then I played Tarkov. Okay. And now any other game, like I do scare streams and I have all the scare alerts going off and it makes me jump. And I'm like, why? What is going like I don't and I'm like, I'm all the way back to Tarkov.
It
So
ruins you, bro. That's what happens.
it does.
You're just hanging out. Next thing you know, headshot.
Bang!
You're like, oh, I'm dead. Oh, I didn't even see it coming.
It
Jesus.
is. It is.
I'm a
it
jumpy
is
person, so it
frightening.
don't matter.
Me
Even
too.
Call of Duty. Boom. I'm done.
I'm on that
Okay,
same level. I'm exactly
Me
the same.
too.
It's not scared of Tarkov. It's the
Even
fact
my
that there's
own
almost no
alerts.
audio in Tarkov, and then you just hear that random bang,
Yeah.
or you'll hear a scav make a noise because there's no other audio other than footsteps, gunshots, and scavs. It's not scared of Tarkov. It's the audio jump scary.
I totally get it, Mario. I'm scared by my own alerts.
Yeah,
too. And
I'll get a
I've had the
follow
same
or
ones
something.
for 2 years.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, I still jump every single time, and I'm like,
The
why?
sound ones get me.
It's like I was
Yeah.
I was
That I
in
play.
I was in your stream yesterday when you were doing the story, and somebody had
Mhm.
dropped an alert, and you just heard you.
Oh yeah.
you
Oh,
were
yeah.
reading at the time, so it was quiet, and then all of a sudden, boom.
Yeah, just get slapped in the face with an alert. It's aggressive, I
Mm.
know.
Oh man, it's just it's very hard being a gentleman like myself and like Pop Tart and Professor are to really delve into really what today's podcast is all about. I'd really like you guys. I don't want to say take the lead, but just feel free to share. Like what's on your mind, like what goes on, some things you've gone through, new things that you've set up to protect yourselves, because there might be somebody watching that is having the same troubles that you've already been through, and maybe help them say, hey, like maybe you just need to change your moderation level, or make sure that you have good actual moderators in your chat that are there to protect you and not like wean off you or anything like that. So, I mean, really, I kind of want to just, let you.
Yeah. So I have
open
I
the door.
have a question. How many of you ladies actually have your mic open during the game?
Oh, never.
Not me.
Never.
Okay.
Nope.
And I think that is a huge concern,
I
because that
agree.
just makes communication is impossible. How are you
Mm-hmm.
supposed to make call outs in COD or Siege? How are you supposed to tell your teammate that there's someone right behind them? Like there's that's the core part of the game, is to work as a team and have that valuable communication so that you can win the game, because that's the whole point of the game.
I mean, for me personally, I always am too afraid to talk in chat just because of the toxicity and the like, oh my God, they're gonna tell me to go make a sandwich, or go like tell me I suck because I'm a girl, or all your basic toxic insults that they try to throw at you. And so it's like, okay, I'm just gonna play the game because I want to play and it's fun. But like Jen said, it is hard to do certain call outs, or especially, I mean, I've really gone into Valorant, so it's hard, playing games like that and not feeling comfortable talking to your other teammates because of that.
It really is. Like we were just talking about it before. Society in of itself, really, I want to say since the baby boomer generation, but really it's once the ability of the internet that gave people an anonymous voice is the start of what has caused this problem, and not being held accountable is what has extended this beyond means. I've got my ass handed like silver platter. Here you go, baby. Here's your ass. I just straight wrecked you in all these multiplayer games, and I'm okay with it. I'm okay. I mean, I feel we all need to be on an equal level of respect of gaming. I mean, listen, if you're better than me, I'm good. I can appreciate that. I can understand that I just need to get my skill game up. That's it. That's on me to be better. That's not on society to go and jump into somebody else's stream or start screaming over a mic about how, well, she's a female. I mean, why does it matter?
See,
Yeah,
it was on
really
just
shouldn't
not even
matter.
just Twitch. I posted a TikTok a couple days ago, or a couple
yeah.
weeks ago, and it blew up. And it's in me and Rebirth, crushing it, by the way.
Hell
And
yeah.
Always.
some guy was like, "Oh, I could have done better," and I was like, "Okay, thanks for coming out." Like,
What? That's because his
and
dick's
that's
about this
the
big. just
comments
saying.
True.
that I get, which helps the algorithm. So keep doing it. But
Right.
that's just the kind of stuff that I see. I see it on other people's TikToks too and stuff like that. But it's in
I
all
got
the
you, Reese.
socials. It's not just Twitch alone.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's
Oh, yeah.
anywhere. It's across
Yeah.
everything
It is.
online. It's just misogynistic comments, just trying to devalue us as people.
Yeah.
Like, it's ridiculous. Just because we have a higher voice is one big thing because most men have lower like bravado in their voice comes across louder. Even if we speak at the same volume, it's not going to sound as loud. So it's really hard to get your point across without maybe yelling into the microphone, you know?
True.
So
I
should we
don't
just
have
start
competition
blaming
at
like
all.
Modern Warfare 2 lobbies? Is that where
You
we're at?
know, and this is my like obviously I'm not a lady, but as we were speaking before the podcast, Pando, like I feel like as much we make these advances in society, I still believe that misogyny has become commonplace. Like it was so
It's
bad.
the new norm.
Yeah,
It's literally become the new norm because nobody wants to stand up and hold you accountable for the shit you say.
Yeah, and then I've heard that argument. Oh well, like the girls don't play video games. Are you shitting me? Are you serious?
You just don't know it because you've caused women to not want to get on the mic. But that person that just went number one was a girl, and she told you to go make a sandwich.
True.
Yep.
She just knocked your head off, and now you sitting in the pregame lobby. You in the gulag because this lady done gave you the work. You know
What's even funnier is your girlfriend, if you have one that's sitting next to you, can recognize that name that it's a female gamer, and she's dying on the inside laughing at you while you're screaming and throwing your controller.
You're giving those people way too much credit. If they're talking like that, they ain't got no girlfriend, bro.
True. Facts.
Well, I mean, listen. Okay, but hold on though. There, I say this very diligently and very, very politely, but there are those type of women that find men like that attractive. I'm just
That's
saying.
true.
I'm not saying all women, and I'm not generalizing women in a whole, but there is it's like that.
Yeah, I
wanna
think
say,
that goes into maybe a little bit of a deeper of a maybe they have insecurities and issues that make them see men like that as holding some kind of value, or that's where they want
That's a fact.
validation, and that's
True.
a whole different world.
50.
That's a
I
whole
got you.
other thing.
subject. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I'm gonna teach you all something real fucking quick that I learned. A white knight is not a man who has his metal truly tested. Okay? So what does that mean? Yeah, you can look like the white knight, but you haven't been in the dirt. You haven't, done things to make people accountable or uphold yourself to a higher standard. So yeah, you're gonna look all shiny and new. And then you're gonna look at the dude over here whose armor is all beaten up and broken and repaired millions of times because he's been through the struggles. Even females. They wear armor too. You just don't see it because they use their silences, their bigger armor.
And
that's
it's tough because I've actually I pretty much when I play games, I try to have a full stack of people to play with, so I don't have to speak in open lobbies, especially while streaming, because that's just that opens a whole can of worms and can be a definite huge issue. Because you don't want someone telling you and degrading you while you're live. Who wants that?
Right.
Yeah.
But it's a taught culture for some reason. It's just taught to cisgender white males to disrespect females. For some reason, that is just the norm. And it's so horrific. It's
just disgusting.
It is.
Yeah.
It's appalling.
It's the internet thing too, because even when somebody like myself or Pop-Tart or any male or any female for that matter says something, you get called that white knight. But then again, how do you hold somebody accountable over the internet? They're still going to talk to smack.
You fucking find them.
And I think they hold power that way, too.
I mean, I'm not Liam Neeson. I can't just go. You know what I mean? But it's just it doesn't matter. I can sit there and protect every single
doing what
one
we're
of their
doing right now. Doing what we're doing right now is
I mean,
doing our part. This is how we can conduct ourselves.
I will find you.
Good
I
luck.
think in general, they want a reaction. They want
That's
that
it.
engagement. And then they're like, ooh, I got a rise out of them. Let's make it worse. Let's say something else. And if I know I'm going in a multiplayer lobby, I mute my mic, or I set it so that my party is only talking. So if I have only just a couple people, chat can still hear me, but I just avoid it. I don't like confrontation to begin with. I just avoid it.
Yeah,
Same.
I don't really see it as white knights, as male friends who help you out and stand up for you. That is, like feminism is just like standing up for equal rights for women. That's all feminism is. Like, of course, there's like far right wing, whatever, but I'm talking like just straight up, being an ally in a friend. That's it. There's no like white knight. Sure, people can put put women on a pedestal and see them in that light, but being a feminist is standing up for your female friends. That's it. That's all it is wanting equality.
I think just being aware that there's a problem, and like there are so many friends that I have made since I've started streaming on Twitch that are male, and when I tell them I've literally received a message that told me to go make a sandwich, they're like, what? No, that's just what people say. That's not like a real thing people send. And I'm like, no, people really send that. Like there's times even on, like I play on Xbox, I'm like, I'm so groomed to like use a stupid icon instead of my picture, because as soon as people see that that's a female on the icon, they send you a message, and that message is either going to be very sexual, like way, way, way sexual, or like, I'm better than you, or go make me a sandwich, or you're never going to find a guy, or anything that they could say.
Well, let me tell you right now, you will find a guy, because if I found a woman that will put up with my shit,
You see that face?
you will
You
find a
found
man.
woman?
You will find a man that will appreciate you. I just went from I never thought I'd be married. I'd never have kids. I thought I'd be the old dude in Monster House, like, get off my lawn. Like I thought I was gonna be my life. And I met my wife at a flea market, at a buddy of mine's store. You know what I mean? I didn't find her in a bar. I didn't find her in a club. I don't drive a Lamborghini. So this whole idea of like, oh well, I'm better. Like this whole just negative ball of fuckery that goes on inside of social media is egged on by people that are disingenuous, uneducated, and are just brought up by parents that are pieces of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had my buddy's kid, who I know his parents, they raised him really good. He told my wife, so she would be able to tell me exactly, but she says something like, women don't really work. They don't have to work. All they're good at is making sandwiches. And like, I immediately rose it. Like, I'm allowed to crack this kid. All right. I've been granted permission to pop this kid in the mouth. And I'm like,
but you know what the problem
though.
is? Where is he hearing that from?
Yeah, exactly.
Because other kids at school. It's a
crazy.
chain reaction of how it's hearing it, knowing it's bad, but thinking, oh, they'll think it's funny,
Imitating it.
and then saying it.
It's perpetuated into
What's up, buddy? You gotta go potty?
culture, like into
potty?
their culture. It's how they see they put other people up on a pedestal, and they see them treating women with disrespect, and they're gonna do the same thing because they're like, oh, I want to be like them.
And they think, oh, my friends do it, so if I do it, I'm cool too. They're gonna think I'm funny. Like my friends are gonna think I'm cool, and it's not. Like it's just a ball of shit.
Yeah.
So it's not toxic masculinity. Okay, it's just toxic.
Yeah.
Because women do it to women too. Men
True.
do it to men.
Oh,
We can't label something a specific, oh, it's man's fault. Well, it is people's fault. It is everyone's fault. Even as much as we try to do right by people, and like literally what we're doing right now is such a great healing conversation. I thank you guys for having the strength and the courage to even just hang out with us about this topic. Thank you.
Because
But
I'm
also-
an idiot. You know what I mean?
But also what I'm saying though is it's like, I can't even on behalf of the entire world apologize how you're treated, because it's like throwing a grain of salt in the Great Salt Flats. It does nothing. All it does is let you know that, hey, at least somebody out there, it's at least 3 of us right here, plus everybody that's in our community, is very supportive of what you guys have going on. Here we go, my buddy Theo. Can we argue that it perpetuates into general disrespect? Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. We were just talking about that, Theo, about how like I really feel the second that you could hit dial up and you gave somebody a faceless voice is the day that this rolling stone that gathers no moss started rolling.
Oh yeah, you're definitely, you feel stronger and more powerful being behind a computer screen where you're not going to get any backlash, you know?
Absolutely.
I was talking to 50,
right there.
50% gaming the other day, and I made the analogy of when I turn this computer on and I turn that camera on, there's somebody somewhere that literally is living the Lord of the Flies, is putting on that mask and is going to act an ass. He's going to become somebody that he's not, whether it be he's weak or no one listens to this person at home. They don't have anybody. They're going to become someone. And it's not what they think is cool. It's what they think is strong. It's what they perceive as, oh, this is the norm. And what bothers me, and the general disrespect, and it's literally coming from every direction. The music we listen to, the shows we watch, some of the things that they try to normalize in music, movies, shows, in all aspects of media are absolutely disturbing. And I'll never be the person that's like, I'm just going to single out this lady over here that's doing all this, making and calling that women empowerment, or this guy who just says a lot of random stuff and says, well, you don't deserve this. It's the most ridiculous shit I've ever seen. And right now I feel like we are just really we're in the middle of it, right? Like we're not at the beginning of the absolute savagery, but we're not at the end. I feel like, and especially with avenues like this, having these tough conversations that half the world don't want to have, I feel like we might be able to get a spark, and maybe somebody will figure it out somewhere else, and then maybe,
yeah, we're literally at the precipice of it's either going to start getting better or it's going to get god awfully worse.
Yeah.
And I would like to hope for better.
I think that the only way it's really going to get better is having conversations like this and kind of like letting other people know, like, hey, it's okay to, play games or stream or just be like online in general. I know that was one of the things that kind of like made me really hesitant about streaming and playing games online with people is, well, what are people going to say about me? Like, am I going to get a lot of trolls, and am I going to get harassed? And, it's just, I wasn't sure if I was mentally going to be able to deal with all that. And I'm just like, you just kind of have to get to a point where it's like, I want to do this for me. And if people don't like it, well, I can't, do anything about that. But I think all we can really do is try to educate people and try to get them to, look at us in the same light and consider us all equal.
Most definitely. Education is just such an important part of this. And I just totally agree with you, Mariah. Yeah.
I need to bring this one back up by Miss Lady. I'm assuming that's how she pronounces it. See,
I want to talk about that too.
Laddie.
That's the same. Miss Laddie. Okay. I wanted to say that, but I didn't.
GG's, buddy.
Yes, that's okay. I'm the same way. Even though my ex-wife and I have 2 kids. I don't know if the ladies that were in here prior to, they saw my son.
Yeah.
That is one thing. Even though her and I aren't together, I raised my son to know that I still respect her regardless, because if he grows up seeing me disrespect her, he's going to think it's okay to disrespect women in general.
Yeah.
Now, not all parents are like that. That's just, I'm not perfect. I'm not saying I am perfect, but things can stem from that too. If you have a baby daddy, baby mama, and you respect the other, your children are going to grow up understanding and seeing that, and will kind of that brings back the education part.
Yes.
Something like that goes both ways to me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
To show respect towards you too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That mutual respect is not even important just in relationships, but this is where it becomes important with, seeing your female friends as equals.
Yeah.
is
Nobody's a competition. It is
exactly.
we are all in this together. We're all doing the same thing. Well, maybe different things, but we're in the same
It's the
boat.
same concept.
It's a different
Yeah,
kind of
it's the same
boat.
concept.
Yeah.
We just want to hang out and do cool shit.
Yeah.
There's
just want
one
to do hood
thing.
rat shit with my
If
friends.
I could teach you like I taught my wife, and I'm not saying like I forced her.
sounded-
I know. That's why. Hold on. That's why I'm pump the brakes. Stop.
Nah,
What I'm saying is,
that's
she
how we
used
do
to
it.
have difficulty because she always worried what other people thought.
That's me.
She always
Me
worried
too.
about
100%.
this and this and that. Listen, okay, I got made fun of every day, bullied every day for 10 years straight. Summer vacation, school, out of school, it didn't matter. Okay. So I've literally, it's not, I don't want you to say, oh, woe is me. I don't give a fuck. That's the point I'm trying to tell y'all. Don't give a fuck.
That's
Somebody's gonna come in here and say,
Dumbo.
fuck you too. Did you see the dog meme where it's like, hey, what's your name? I'm John. Fuck you, John. You have to be like that. Okay. And I'm
Give the
saying
same
that.
energy back.
Yeah, you have now listen, if a troll comes in, okay, yeah, that's fun, whatever, you get to troll them back, or guess what? You and your mods have the ability to say, fuck you, bye.
Yeah.
And get the
Yeah.
fuck out.
some
Here's
people
something-
ain't built like that.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I don't like confrontation, and I'm trying to get better at not caring what people think, but it's
I
it's
love
hard.
confrontation.
It's hard.
I'm the same too,
Try
but
it.
I feel like having those really, really good mods who they also don't give a shit and they will
Yeah.
ban people. Like I had an incident where I had 2 people come in and they were being really just making me uncomfortable and being trolls. And, especially when you're in the
Exactly.
middle of a game and you can't just like be quick to, go ban someone or time them out or whatever. And you have these mods and they're like, no, like, fuck you. Like, you're not going to talk to them like that. And they're just, that I think makes it a lot easier on us. And then we don't really even have to deal with it. Because I'm the same. I don't like confrontation and I get really awkward and I get really like, oh, like, yikes. But if I have someone there and they're like, no, like, you're not going to act like that. And I'm like, yeah, you're not going to act like that. I feel like it just kind of makes it easier.
Or you get the pit bull in you. You're like, yeah, you ain't about to talk to me crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I own 2 pit bulls like that. I guess that's what it is about me. So do you feel
Pop's got a side of Pitbull.
so let's get into some kind of I don't want to say medical terminology or anything like that, but do you feel that let's say a mental illness or a tragedy that struck to somebody causes them to try to be this way?
It could.
From like an inward to like it's an inward struggle that they utilize as an outward what's the word? Like an outward reach. Like they're actually acting like this because they need help.
Yeah,
Like,
they're
do you feel there's a
projecting.
couple
Yeah.
of people there?
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it could be either or. I mean, some
Yeah.
people I think just do it because they want attention. Like there's an
True.
Instagram that I saw last week, and I use a lot of TikTok, okay, but she's a fellow streamer that I know, and I wasn't in the stream at the time, but she got raided, and she actually got raided by a bunch of trolls that decided that they were going to go and make her uncomfortable, and they were nasty.
awful.
And
That's
she
awful.
posted just to kind of say, and there were so many other women in the comments saying, "This happened to me. This happened to me. This happened to me." And I don't know if it was that person. She didn't post the person's name who did this to her, but her mods took care of it. They went to the person's stream and they saw them say, "Oh, she looks pretty. Let's go and bother her. We haven't got banned from her chat yet." And that's the mentality that they're just like, "Ooh, let's go and do something to somebody." Like that's
Yeah.
premeditated. That's
It's almost like it's
Oh, yeah.
literally bullying, just a different
and
form
she
of it.
reported
That's
it
all.
to
Yeah.
Twitch. She did report it to Twitch, but I'm glad
Twitch
she
doesn't
posted
give a
that.
fuck.
Which
I'm
doesn't
glad
care.
she
Yeah,
posted
no.
it
Twitch
to
doesn't give a fuck. I
social
mean,
media so that social
if
media
you-
could see it and other people could see it and be aware. I almost thought, I was like, should I turn my raids off? Like I would never want something like that to happen because
Yeah.
I'm so uncomfortable. I'd be so uncomfortable, and
Right.
sure she was too. I felt so bad as soon as I saw something like that. That people would think to do something like that.
Well, and I
Yeah.
think that's part of the anonymity too, because like I think, and obviously I'm not any of these people, so I could be wrong, but in my mind, I would like to think like the things that you say to us as female streamers, the things that you come into our stream or that you say to us over mic, do you say that to your sister,
They
to
don't
your
have the balls
mom,
to do that.
to your
Yeah.
daughter?
No.
Like,
Exactly.
I can't,
They-
like, what is it that makes you realize that that is wrong
Mhm.
and that you
I don't
shouldn't talk
think-
to your family like that, your friends like that, your loved ones, but when you're behind a screen, you can.
I really don't
Yeah.
think they have the mental capacity to look at it
Mm.
like that because they like I would assume just this is probably maybe not all of them, but most of them that they maybe don't even have a good relationship like that with their mom or their sister or their child or whatever.
Mhm.
So they can't even picture like having that good like okay, well I would never say this to my mom like if they don't really have that relationship and it wasn't ingrained in them to like treat women with respect or to treat people in general with respect.
Yeah, it's just like if you were to be a child that was brought up from a young age that daddy beat mommy, your like as a human consciousness would take that as understanding that that's the norm.
That's
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. And now we're literally witnessing that in social media where that's just the best terminology I can put is daddy hit mommy at the table and you don't know what to do.
Yeah, we can never really know anyone's whole story, and they can project or act how they like. I kind of want to go back to what Theodore said about learned equality.
Mhm.
Yes, they can teach it in school. Like the education system can tell, like, this is what you should act like. But then, there's social media that has a bigger presence that they can see other people treating people with disrespect and view
Right.
them as someone who is more important, who this is who I want to be like. So this is how I'm going to act towards another person.
Do you
Right.
feel so? Theo brought up a great question as well,
Yeah, I was just
and
looking at
I
that.
want to pop on this. So he asked, "Do you feel that most people use gaming as a way to escape reality and maybe project a behavior they don't normally or would be likely in society?"
There are
So-
a lot of people that definitely
Yeah.
I
project
believe
a
that
different
too.
personality online, and not everyone can be as genuine as as us being open and honest about our feelings and who we are as people, whereas other people go online to be someone else.
Or
Yeah,
beat
or to
someone
act a
else,
different-
honestly.
Or act a different way
I think
because that's what they see.
Depending
and
on what
who
we
they
play,
be.
like, because I play a lot of Warzone,
Mhm.
I can't help, but I just like, I scream, I yell. Well, not scream and yell, but I definitely curse and I definitely call people names, not to them, but like when I die, I'm like, oh, you bitch, or like something like that.
Right.
Yeah,
You
I
know what I
feel
mean?
that.
Like there is some level of, but you're not directing it into a personal thing.
You're not
Vendetta
trying to
or
ruin
something.
somebody.
Yeah, you're not trying to
You
ruin
guys don't know
someone's
what,
life.
like,
No,
So-
exactly, but I definitely do that, and I have many clips of me on stream doing
Same.
that.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah. Oh,
So
speaking
in-
of clips, there's something Mariah. I was on her stream and we were playing Valorant, and this is what I mean. Like we take in so much abuse from the online community that like we turn around and be toxic ourselves sometimes. And like we were just kind of mimicking people who were disrespecting us and putting that back out there. Of course, that's not healthy, but sometimes it's nice to just let that go.
But it was a positive spin on a
Yeah.
negative action. That's what it was. You didn't allow that person to hurt you because you turned their disrespect into a joke.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I love that. Rage in your channel, not theirs.
Right.
Exactly.
Keep
Dude.
pushing.
Did we just become best friends?
No,
saying.
but my
Just saying.
thing is like hearing all this, and I didn't know, like, especially the story where somebody said, they said they're pretty. Let's raid them. We haven't gotten banned yet.
Yeah.
You gotta be
Yeah.
a sour ass human being
Yeah.
to wake up, and that's the. You know what I'm gonna do today? I'm just gonna troll Twitch, find a pretty lady, and just completely try to get her off of this platform. That is absolutely.
They're making a lot of
gross.
advances at her, and she said, she's like, I'm married, and she said, like, I think it was in her panel. I have it in my panel. I'm married. I have kids. Blah blah blah. About me, whatever. But she said, and it started to make her uncomfortable. They're like, oh, who cares about your husband? Like they're just saying nasty things, and they made her very. And her mods took care of it, and that's why you have to have good mods that you trust. And I mean,
I agree with that.
You have to
I'd-
have them that
Mods
take
are
care of it.
everything.
I'd pay
No,
5 of my best buddies to hack, find their address, and I will kick in their front door and I will tell them how not to do shit. I'm not kidding. I'm not
That's-
kidding. I have done that.
I just don't understand the mindset
Yeah.
of an ass clown, and I'm not going
Yeah.
to because I'd rather clip my toenails than think about that. But
The thing about that
It's
too
just
is
crazy.
there was a lot of bigger streamers in that thread that said this happened to me at the start of my streaming. So that's been going on for a long time of people, not just this one stream that did it, but
Right.
it's been happening by other people that just think it's funny or whatever they're thinking. I can't say what they're thinking, but
I'm going to ask a question. And I know everybody's pretty much dancing around this question in their head, but I'm the kind of dude that just doesn't beat around the bush. I mow that bitch over. Do you also feel that there are females out there that objectify themselves as objects that make it harder for you and people to realize that y'all are human too? You're like, you all have feelings, you all have inspirations and dreams and goals and kids and responsibilities where, like, I mean, literally, just look at the new Twitch meta.
You know what?
That
I
literally tells me exactly everything I need to know that Twitch just does not give a shit anymore.
I really think that anyone who chooses to put out any content they want, if you want to sit with a tank top on and stream and just sit and just chatting, good for you. You know
Yeah.
what?
Yep.
You are strong and you are confident and you should be out there showing off and, good for you. Like, I don't care. I choose to stream without a camera. It's my own personal choice. I get asked probably at least once every week, where's your cam? I don't have one. That's just how it is. But you know what? For everyone who is strong and confident enough to be, open with their viewership,
I
go
agree.
for it.
Yeah,
I
I
think
100%.
Nothing against any
Go-
other woman.
Go ahead,
By all
Etch a
means.
Sketch.
Well, I was going to kind of backpack on that. It's like I've actually had other people ask this question. I know it's popular kind of floating around a lot of the socials with Twitter right now because there is such active with, hot tub streams and all of that. And like, I'm never going to look at a woman and say like, it's your fault men treat me like that. Like that's not at all
Not at
how
all.
it should be. And I co-stream in a category which is very sexualized ASMR.
Yeah.
If you've
Oh,
ever
yeah.
pulled that up, that is where a lot of the hot tub streamers are. There are a lot of
scary.
people that are doing ear noms. I don't do that, but more power to you if that's your thing. But that's still like, it doesn't matter if one woman decides to put herself out there and say like, hey, look at me. Do I look good in my swimsuit? And they answer yes, that's fine. That doesn't mean you should go to other person or another person and do that.
That's
I
the point
agree.
where I was getting at. I
Yep.
wasn't, I just want to make it perfectly clear. I wasn't knocking the hustle.
no.
We all know what the
no.
oldest profession in the entire of the earth is. Okay, we know what that is.
I think no
What
matter what
I'm-
you're doing, you're going to gain
Yeah.
who wants to watch you. So it doesn't matter
Exactly.
because someone who may be interested in someone in a tank top might be interested in someone that just wears hoodies, or
Mhm.
you're going to gain who you should. And if they want to be somewhere else, then they work for you anyway. Like,
Exactly.
there's the
I
people too, and they want what they want.
agree with that. I mean, I don't really care what other people are doing because I want to attract the audience that I feel comfortable having.
Yeah.
So if
Absolutely.
people are into hot tub streamers, which is fine, and they come to my channel and they're they want to see that, like they're not going to get that.
You ain't
And-
getting that here. You
Yeah,
ain't
Yeah.
you're
selling
not
that.
getting that here.
Listen,
sorry.
don't nobody want to see me in no hot tub unless we
Yeah.
hit about 500 subs.
All right, come on, chat. Make it
Oh,
happen.
no,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
no.
Let me
Listen.
go give some subs really quick.
and leave them,
Mm.
and make sure you gel
Mm-mm.
that mohawk up. I don't want to see nothing. I don't want to see no droopage.
We don't need
Oh.
no droopy mohawk.
I have to use like putty and beeswax because I'm Sicilian, so my hair is super thick, and I've been trying to figure out a way to actually make it do what I want it to do. And I've talked to tons of different hairstylists. Hell, my daughter's one, and we still can't get it to figure out. I must just have like that god hair that everybody wishes they would have, but I can't stand long hair. This is the longest my hair has ever been, literally to date.
Can I say something real quick?
No.
Etch a Sketchy, you hit a point that kind of, you just get hit in the chest real quick. You're like, woo. When you said you're not going to use other women what they do to disrespect me.
Yeah.
That's some real shit. I felt that. I was like, yeah,
I like that fire. I was
do
waiting.
that. Talk your shit, Queen.
Yeah.
Talk your shit. Yes, sir. Hey.
Yeah. Well, villainizing each other isn't going to get anyone
no,
anywhere.
No.
It just gives yourself negativity, and why would
Yeah.
you want to do that?
Yeah, facts. And I just, I have my own personal struggles, right, with certain things, and but I'm just so glad. Thank you, Lazy. I appreciate that. I'm just
I
so
looked
glad
over. I'm like, please, no.
we're having this
Yeah.
like this is actually really happening, because this needs to this should happen at least twice a week, 3 times a day. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I can't, and as I said it before we went live, I can't, I can be an ally to the proper treatment of all women, not just women streaming, or not just women in general, just people in general. I can be an ally for equal treatment, but I can't tell the story properly because I haven't, I experienced my own shit, but I can't sit here and pretend to understand and fathom half the shit that you all get on a daily. And I just want to say I commend you all for not giving up, because that's what these clowns want you to do. That they literally wake up in the morning with nothing, and they just want to shit on somebody else's day. And whenever you all are down, just remember the fact that you wake up and you still stream, you still click that go live button. That's
Or
an
post
app.
that TikTok video.
Yeah, that's
or hit
a
up
win.
Twitter.
That's a
Or
W.
walk out your
Every
front
time.
door and get your mail without being fucking verbally or even visually abused.
Yeah.
It's fucking ridiculous.
I got catcalled the other week for the first time in a decade. Let me tell you how weird that was. Ugh.
Is the cat
It's-
called the whistle thing?
It's just gross.
Yeah, it's
It
a, hey
just-
girl, what's going on? What's up? Just
Yeah.
that. That is literally what it is.
Hey, yo, people still do that?
Yeah.
Apparently.
Apparently.
Yeah.
I'm scared to death to even hold a door anymore in today's times. Are you shitting me? People actually vocalize? All right. People out of pocket. This is crazy.
Yeah, some of the stuff that happens, it's unreal. Some of the stuff, like, I mean, once I turned 21, I started going to bars and stuff, and some of the stuff that people just say and do in
I don't do
bars, and
bars.
it's so so
That's a whole
disgusting.
nother-
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it
a
is.
whole
It is.
other,
The last
whole
time-
other thing.
The last time I was in a bar, I was sitting down eating a sandwich, drinking a beer with a coworker, and the dude to my right hauled off and cracked his wife, and I grabbed the back of his head and bounced his face off the bar, and I got to eat and drink for the rest of the night for free.
Oh,
Oh, hell
I do not condone any kind of negative anything like that towards women. There's different if you're like having a heated discussion with your husband or friend or anything, but when any kind of real potential damage can happen, whether that's verbally, emotionally, or physically, I'm the dude that steps in and handles business. I don't care what you got going on in life. You don't do that shit in front of me. Ever.
see, and I think the two, like, if we go when I was going to the bar and stuff, I don't anymore, but we would dress up, and that goes
Mhm.
back to the hot tub stuff or the whatever. You can dress however you want, but that does not mean that you want every.
All you want to do is go out and
One
just feel
or-
good.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I want to dance, and I
Yeah.
want to hang out with my friends, and I don't want to deal with crazy people. Maybe I shouldn't say that, but
Lazy. This person was on some bullshit at 9 o'clock in the morning. Like, fam,
Jeez.
have your coffee first. Jesus
Seriously.
Christ.
Fuck.
there's no time frame
Eat
for
a
them.
bagel.
It's whenever they
Yeah.
see a female in general.
Well,
It could be 5 o'clock in the morning, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Damn, girl."
Well, there's just that expectation out there that some men view women and then they objectify them and they see them as
Yeah.
objects. And, you came to the bar looking good tonight. You must have done that for other people. You must have done
Yes.
that for me.
no,
Because
No,
God
no,
forbid
no.
you want to walk out your
Thank you.
front door and just feel amazing for you, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Oh,
Living for myself, not for the to be accepted by a stranger. I don't know.
Ladies out
That's-
there, if you want a cat call the Pop-Tart, go ahead.
do not
I'll take it.
cat
You know how
call
long
the
it takes to get
Pando.
this. You know
Do
how long
not.
it takes this beard to get straight. Like, yo, hey,
My-
notice me.
Do not
Notice
notice me. My wife, I love her to death, but she is a ginger and she will f your world up. Please do not. Please do not catcall Pando.
All right,
Unless
Odie,
it's in a
all
memeing
right,
fashion.
all right.
Don't.
But no, like
Don't.
just remember that y'all still do this, and I know for a fact y'all gotten a whole lot of shit. Just look at my hat. Just look at my hat. It's a W. It's a W.
It's a
I'm gonna
Walgreens
send,
W.
I'm gonna send
Next.
all y'all some Washington National stuff, so you have to look at a W.
So let's change the dynamic. Okay, so we've talked about everything that's negative that y'all have had to deal with while streaming. Let's talk about some positive things that have happened while streaming, whether it's growing, whether it's learning something new, the community that you've built, the people that you've met. Like let's change the subject in the last little bit of this podcast and talk about the positive things people should be looking for in life and connecting with.
I mean, I would definitely say community. Like I said, I've been around Twitch for a while, so I mean, I've had like, my friends that I've made in other streams and stuff, but building my own little baby community has just been like amazing. They're always here for me, and especially Miss Jen over there. I got Miss Jen. She's like, meeting people like Jen has been like the best part. Just the love that people radiate around you and show you is insane. It's crazy. I never thought that like I would be here doing this and meeting people like that.
100%. I agree.
I love you, Mariah.
Love you, Jen.
I'm gonna cry.
Well, and this is support that we're looking for, and I don't say we're looking for, but the world is looking to see visually
Oh yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and auditorily.
it's just so refreshing that, sure, yeah, I don't have a camera, but people come for my personality and to listen to me talk and scream into my microphone every day, which is fantastic. And having those people around me that, don't judge me, they're there for me no matter what I play. It's just such a refreshing feeling. Like yesterday I played my first story game on stream after only playing multiplayer games for 3.5 years. And I was just, the anxiety was a 10. And, I'm like, no one's going to show up. And meanwhile, it was one of the busiest streams I'd ever had. And just having that support from people, and having people behind me that believe in me, it makes it easier to believe in myself, which is really nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Miss Etch a Sketch.
I mean, I would say community is a big part too. I've also really used my platform to kind of talk about mental health. It's something that I have struggled with for a really long time. And so I try to not really like educate. I'm not a therapist. I know I'm not a therapist, but show those that come to my channel that, other people go through this. It's not just, especially in content creation, because it's huge in content creation. There's so much extra pressure on you.
Say something wrong.
Yes, to say something wrong, to not look the right way. Also, as a female, to not look the right way. As a plus size streamer, I mean, there's a lot of different.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
Like a lot of different things to go
Reach.
into it. So, just trying to let people know that they are not alone. Resources that are out there, things like ASMR. I know a lot of my I started with a lot of variety and then moved to ASMR, and I know a lot of the people that watched me play Warzone was like, why are you whispering at me? What is this? The first time I did it. And then afterwards they were like, oh, I love this. I come back, like even Miss Sammy comes back like week after week and loves it now. So
I thought it was for other purposes. I thought ASMR was something weird. And then Etchy showed me it's not. That's not what it is. And it helps people. It helps me sleep.
Miss Etch a Sketch. Is it like, I'm gonna blow your fucking head off?
It's like,
Headshot.
will eat your heart.
Headshot sucker.
subs all day.
Imagine hearing that in the voice come. You're like, yo.
I'm just gonna add that in.
You're like
on
me.
Monday.
Yeah. ASMR
couldn't
hot
even.
mics all night tonight, guys.
I'll be there.
Miss
I
Sammy?
would say two things like this, and just finding other, content creators who have, the right, I don't want to say the right mindset, but like the same values and ideas that you have, and being able to kind of like vibe with them and create just amazing stuff with them is it's just great. It fills my little heart up.
Yeah.
I
'Cause none
wish
of
I
us
had a
have
heart.
none of us have
I'm
the
just
right
kidding.
mindset. We literally get online. and-
True. Yeah,
it's-
true.
You're opening yourself up for a whole new can of horse shit. But we do it.
Yeah.
But we do it
Hey.
anyway.
But then again, like look at the like again with the I think it's because I'm wearing Nationals gear. It's the W's. Like, you know, I met Miss Sammy XO through streaming, Genevieve through streaming, Pando through streaming. All of you, everybody here right now, we are now connected. And Pop Tart don't got a heart.
I just want to let you know.
I got crust. You know what I'm saying? But you know, it's growing. It's growing.
I grow like a fungus, though. I'm just letting you know that right now. I shower, but I grow like a fungus on you. You're like, ew, what's that? Oh, he's fun. Oh, it's fine. It'll be okay.
You can stay there. It's fine.
It'll be all right.
Now, would you say, like, we're talking about the good things, like, besides, because community is always great, but
I love when you change somebody's life in
Yes.
chat.
Yes.
There could have been the most
Speaking-
negative ball of a day in chat, and this one person goes, you know what? How you handled that made me feel like I could handle this in real life. And then, like, their entire mentality when they go out into the world is completely changed.
It's like I was there the day Miss Sammy got her affiliate status.
Oh, bro, we
I
went
was
nuts.
there. No, this was a different time. I was there the very first stream. She got her affiliate status.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think she ended up with it was over 10 subs that night.
We was dumping them.
Yeah.
That's
and
what's
then
up.
I
and then
like
there was
you
that
and
one
Cheers.
night. Yeah. No, there was that one night where
That night was nuts
we
too.
raided Miss Sammy, and hey, when the Toaster Nation gets out
You guys
there
are
in a
crazy.
raid, we go crazy.
You guys are crazy. And the best way, of course, but just
I would
have a
say.
question. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say I would say the same thing about Jen's community. Jen raided me one night and demanded a hype train, and I'd never had a hype train before. And I was playing Devour, and I couldn't even focus on the game because there was just so much going on. And I'm literally in tears because they're over here. It's like level 1, okay, level 2, level 3, level 4. And I'm like, no, please. Like, why are you spending your money on me? Like, I don't deserve you. Like, stop. And
Just take
it's
my
just-
money.
Yeah. And it's just, I don't know. It's crazy.
Yeah, having the supportive people that I'm actually able to make this my full-time job is just mind-blowing to me. Having the community behind me, good, bad days doesn't matter. I'm not going to fake the positivity and feeling great. Like I'm not going to feel great every day. I'm going to be who I am, and people still accept that. And they still want to be there in chat, which is awesome, because you can't just force positivity on people and fake it. That's not gonna. No, that is not gonna.
No.
Fly.
And people will pick up on that if you're trying
yeah.
to be somebody that you're not, because you can't do that the entire time. If you're streaming for 3 hours, you're gonna slip if that's not who you are,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
they'll pick up on that.
Oh,
Yeah,
most
no,
definitely.
for sure. For sure.
Yeah, you can't be disingenuous in this thing.
No.
If you are, I mean, it's different. It's different if you're creating a gimmick like what a wrestler would, and that is your persona when you're
Yeah.
streaming. I get that. Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, even he who we do not speak of anymore on Twitch, that's a doctor. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He had his gimmick,
Oh yeah.
and it's what sold his stream. Like that was him, but he was
I'm not
still
gonna do it.
genuine when he had to be.
Yeah.
When
was
when
just
he
being
made
an
mistakes.
exaggerated version of himself.
Exactly.
Yes.
Miss Sammy, what was your question? Because you were
Okay,
about to
so
ask
this
a
is going maybe it's a positive, but it could be a negative. But has anyone ever had anyone in the chat or in the have they ever had someone that they know them before they started streaming have a backhanded compliment? Like, I definitely just recently have had that happen to me, and I was kind of like, whoa.
Go ahead.
Touchy,
I got
a little
this.
touchy, but yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of baffled, and I was just like, okay. And I tried to manage it because I was just about to stream, and what they said to me, and I was just like, well, I don't really think that. And I kind of handled it, and then went into stream, and then I was fine. But just, yeah, and it was a male, but it was said something along the lines of, well, it must be nice because you're blonde or something along those lines.
Hey, yo.
Yeah.
Doing a
And-
stereotype.
Just
Hey,
basically,
Yeah,
Exactly.
the amount of times where it's like, oh, you're a girl, it must be easy. It's like,
Yeah, it was exactly something along those lines.
so
And I
he's
was
trying
like,
to
oh.
minimize you to your appearance.
Yeah, and I
that's
never
why
had
you're getting
that yet
viewership.
until then, and I thought, wow, it's by somebody that that knows me personally, and I just thought that's kind of
Yeah.
shitty.
That's some
It's
hater
not a good
shit.
feeling.
It is.
Yeah.
I was in a part of a streamer group, not even on Discord. It was on Facebook, and this female asked an honest question, and I gave her one of the most honest answers I've ever given. And I said, it will be slightly easier for you because you're entertaining, you put on a good show, you're not ugly, and when I say ugly, I mean just like inside and outside,
Mhm.
right? The owner of that Facebook group DM'd me and said, how dare you tell her to shake her stuff to get follows on Twitch? And I ruined that Facebook group. And I'm like, I wasn't understanding. Like, how did it go from telling you that you're a genuine, beautiful individual, like all around, that you're going to do it, like be supportive, and now all of a sudden, because I'm a guy, telling a girl that she's a beautiful person, both inside and out and all around, and your streams are great, you're going to make it somewhere. Did it just become about sexualization of a particular part of a female's body to get ahead in streaming?
Right. I think that's
So-
the point that I'm trying to make is I just use that as an example. I don't want it to be like, you're a
Yeah.
woman, you look like this, so it's easy. It's not. It doesn't matter what you look like. It's a personality. It's how much content you're creating. It's what you're
Yeah.
putting out there. It's relationships that you're making. It is so many different things, and people don't see what we're doing behind the scenes. So
No.
they just think, oh, well, that's easy because they just see you on the camera, or they just
Right.
hear your voice. Oh, wow, your voice sounds nice, or whatever the case is.
That's
and think,
that's such a hater ass defeated thing to say to someone. I've had people tell me, like, you know, I don't even tell nobody I stream. You know what I mean? Like, I
I
tell them,
don't
like, my
either.
close friends, but I've had certain people that know me, know that I stream, and they play video games, say, bro, what are you doing? Like, bro, what are you doing? Like, bro, you this ain't you. Like, no, you mad
yeah.
because people actually, like, never in a million years did I think that someone, you know, I've connected, like, I hate him, but I love him at the same time, and that would be June's. June is the anybody doesn't
It's a
know.
love to shoot him, but hate to waste a bullet kind
I
of
don't want to
feeling.
give him no credit, but he, you know, never in a million years did I think I'd know somebody in Australia. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Never in a million years did I think I know people in Canada. Well, I already know people in Canada, but you know, you meet new people. Like none of this is easy. Like, fam, I get off work and I'm like, shit, I gotta stream. I'm sweating.
Yeah.
I'm over here sweating already. I'm like, fuck, bro, what am I gonna do? Or on my Facebook page, like every week I try to push out a new montage video. Man, I'm like 3 weeks behind, like shit, because trying to edit these videos is tragically trash because I'm also trash at it. But people just think, like, a lot of people just think this is like the easiest thing to do on the, like, no, I have to open my, I already have, I struggle with mental health issues, right?
Me
I'm
too.
already behind the 8 ball on that. So when it comes down to it, I have to open my, like, to be a stream, like to stream and cultivate a community, you got to open yourself up. People got to learn, get to know the real you. And the fact that, you know, I got people, you know what I mean? I got, man, the Toasty Nation real, you know what I'm saying? And I can only imagine when you were all talking about your communities, because it made me, like, I was tearing up on the inside, because Pop-Tart don't cry, you feel me? But I was tearing up on the inside, and I
Yo,
was like,
Pando cries. I ain't afraid to say
I
it.
said, this is crazy, you know, because it really is like a, it's like, you remember Surge, like Surge, the drink Surge? It had about
I
a
miss it.
million pounds
Oh.
of sugar. When I open up my Discord and see people talking to each other, I'm like, yeah, we lit.
Yep.
I don't care what that person just said. We lit. We going in
Oh, yeah.
today. Yeah.
Oh,
Or
I
like
listen.
you go into a community member's stream and you see other people from your community in there that like wouldn't have known each other without.
Rocking.
Yes.
Yep.
The best feeling in the
Yep.
world.
My
Such a
heart.
good feeling.
Yes.
I love that comment. Hearing people say it ain't a career angers me. If you could be the dude that walks down the street getting paid, and it's a career because you're making money doing it. And I think everybody that isn't making money doing it, it's fucking jelly, and they need some peanut butter to make a sandwich and eat it and
Yep.
fucking walk on.
Yep.
I have worked so hard off stream to make sure I visit my community members' chats, interact with new people, network, and put myself out there. Because if you don't put yourself out there, you're not going to see the same kind of attention back. And
Exactly.
there's a way that you build your community. It's taken me 3.5 years to get over 3,000 viewers, 3,000 followers. It's not easy work, it's a grind, and you have to give respect when respect is due to people that push themselves, that have thousands of followers or hundreds of followers in just a few months. Like, hell yeah, good for
Hell
you.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
To touch on what Pop Tart said is, if someone sees like a 15-second video, that took time to edit. That didn't take 3
Yeah, it
seconds.
took hours.
You had to go through an entire VOD. You had to clip and do this and that, and it takes a lot of time. And even until I was doing my own, I had no idea. I love doing it. I really enjoy editing, but it's time consuming.
Yeah.
I'd like
yeah,
to
'cause
thank
you-
Athena for helping me out, because
Yes.
I'm just saying.
That's it.
Thank you, Athena Skull.
Thank you. So I don't know how y'all feel about it, but sometimes it bothers me, not in a like a negative way, but like in a pounding in my heart kind of way, because I'll have people that'll come back after months of not even being in my stream at all and like apologize to me for them not being there.
Oh yeah.
No,
And
don't
is-
apologize.
No. But what I'm saying though is like it makes me feel like, okay, so either A, I'm super important, which I don't know why I am, but that's cool, or they must have had such a struggle in that time frame that they felt compelled to apologize for them not being here. I don't understand, and maybe I'm asking so you guys can help me clarify some things, because I don't understand why somebody would apologize for not. It's like trying to apologize to Rick and Morty because you just didn't watch season 4,
Yeah.
and then
I
you
think-
watch the VODs later.
From me personally, I'm really bad at that. Like, I do that. I'll go, like, if I'm kind of like really busy or whatever, I'll be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, because I'm so used to like wanting to support people, and like even if it's just lurking or whatever, that I'm like, oh, I'm not doing what I feel like I not even like need to do, but like what I enjoy doing. So like, I'm sorry for not doing that, which is probably not the best thing to do. But that's like my perspective on it. So when I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, like I haven't been here to support you and I really want to support you, but I just have been busy with work or going through this or whatever.
Yeah, I feel bad when people stop coming around to chat. Let's say they got gifted a sub and they felt more encouraged to talk. And then,
Right.
let's say that their sub disappeared and then they felt guilty being in chat without having a sub badge. That doesn't have to be a requirement to be in chat.
I
You're
agree
more than
completely.
welcome to be there. I just like hanging out with people. That's the whole point of streaming.
There's-
You don't have to pay me money. It's okay.
Right.
Absolutely. There's only one person that comes into my chat, and he's one of my original 10 subscribers, one of the first 10, and I bust his balls jokingly because he's one of my mods too. And I don't require my mods to be subs. I don't care, but I joke around with him because he shows up. I'm like, man, come on, Dragon. How are you gonna be in my chat and my mod and not even be subbed to me? And it creates this like this whole little fun ball going on in chat. And it's like, other than that though, I mean, I don't think it matters. It's so I have ADHD, so I'm emotionally disconnected from most people. I don't understand things the way everybody else does. My wife has helped me understand a lot of things. Actually being on Adderall now is allowing me to have that chemical connectivity in my brain to understand, because usually I'd be like, what the fuck's your problem? Like, why are you being like this? Because I couldn't relate, because I couldn't understand, because I didn't really know what emotions were. I really didn't even know what love was until I pretty much met my wife. I thought what I thought was love wasn't actually love, but it was infatuation.
Right.
And so it's kind of the same reason why I ask questions like that, because I haven't had the ability to connect with people like that, even through font, we'll say.
Well, and I'll say,
go
I
ahead.
think
Go ahead.
like apologies, especially from a mental health side of things, it's a trauma response, because you
Yes.
always feel like you're not doing enough, even if you're busting your butt and you're always there. Like Sammy got me in this podcast an hour ago. I'm gonna tell you, I didn't even shower before then because I like struggled to get out of bed.
I didn't shower
Like,
either.
there are just some days where you're just like,
Shit.
I can barely take care of me, so I know I'm
Yeah.
not doing enough for my community or for my really close streamer friends or for people that I'm like, I've seen you on TikTok every day and I really want to say hi, but like I also can't.
Or be like Professor that jumped
Mhm.
into my
Yeah.
fucking stream the other day and didn't even say hi. Just jumped in, and I happened to click the button because I was curious to see who was here, and I went, motherfucker didn't say hi. And then he dips out. And I'm like, bro,
I don't remember what
the
day
fuck?
that was.
You know what's great though is having people
Appreciate that
watch
solid
you
pick.
and like you don't even have to say hello. You like please lurk.
Yeah.
You know, you're more than
I'm a
welcome.
big
Absolutely.
lurker.
Twitch-
I just like
Twitch
to bust my buddies'
is
balls.
huge about lurking, right? And having not everyone has to talk and chat. You shouldn't feel
Ah.
obligated at all, right? But yeah, giving your buddy that you've known for a few years shit for not talking in chat, of course, that's okay.
Yeah.
That's a way of trolling each other, you know?
Absolutely.
When I
But-
first started Twitch, I
yeah.
never talked in anyone's chat.
Mhm.
I never talked in anyone's discords that I was in. I was like, how do I jump in these conversations? How do I talk to people? Like doing this, even just I was like, oh, thank you, but should I? Because I tend to talk too
Appreciate
much
you,
or
Becky.
I get lost in my thoughts. Anyway, but streaming has helped me so much get out of that shell, and it's amazing. And I've met such sweet, amazing people, and I wouldn't take any of it back. But it's so good, and it's definitely helped me.
I would only
talk to
take
people.
one back, and Pop Tart and Professor both know who I'm talking about. I would take
Yeah,
one connection back, and that's it. Outside of that, this entire community and social media across everything that I've ever connected with has been all positive except for one.
But and you know, part of me is why when I was thinking of like, I was like, man, I'm gonna stream, but I have to come up with a catchy name for the community. So I came up with the Toaster Nation. It's not the Toaster Prison. Like you can be gone, you can come back. We here. This is a family, baby. Whether you like it or not, I'm the type of I'll hit you up on Discord like, hey man, you all right? Everything good? You're like, yeah, you know, I was going through some shit. I'm like, oh, all right, man. But I'm not going to press you about it. And this is why I say the same corny thing before I get off the stream. And there's a million places, a million people you could be watching right now. And the fact that you're watching me, I appreciate you. Much love. Pop Tart out. That's not nothing fake. That is real because you could be doing anything, but you came to hang out with me, even if you're lurking. I love it. Like,
I think the thing we need to realize is we all have lives. We have kids. We have significant others, whatever the case is. So we all understand if you can't make it in, you're busy. You have things to do. And we're all streamers too. So we're all on our own schedules.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the main thing. We
Yeah.
try.
Dougie about to make me cry with that Toaster Nation heart.
Oh.
It's much love. But it's much
Until
love
he
for all of
teaches
y'all.
me how to Dougie, we're good.
No.
That's just not. That's where I thought it had to be.
Dougie.
Do it better gaming.
Hey!
Thank you for the raid. Hell yeah,
Yeah.
appreciate you. Damn, coming in.
With the
This is why it's hard. This is why it's hard to put a
Let's
time restriction on our podcast because
Yeah,
everything
yeah,
just
yeah.
keeps getting hype and hype and hype.
It gets out of control sometimes. But no, it's you know, it's just one of those things where I'm just like, this is
Lemon raid. That's what I'm
crazy.
talking
Let's
about.
go. That is
Let's
awesome.
go.
By the way, there's a limit. Like that is fire. You know what I also love about Twitch too is looking at everybody's individuality. Like
Yeah.
when I see people's emotes, sometimes I get jealous. I be like, "Damn, that's fire!"
I
Oh,
do too.
You're
I
like,
do
"Where'd
too,
you come up with this?"
That's my favorite thing about Twitch. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
Same. I'm
Like,
such
if we could
so
have so
many
many emo
people.
slots.
Oh
Hell
my
yeah.
gosh, I
Thank you for the
know.
raid.
Actually, I've seen yours in Discord. You have so many ready to pop out. I'm so excited.
My emotes are actually called B-motes. Thank
Ooh.
you.
Oh, they're special.
She got real
They're
close to the
more
mic. Was
better.
like, get my shit right. Thank
Yeah.
you. My bad. My bad.
Everybody, she has B-mode. I love it though. I love it because you created it into your thing and not Twitch's thing, and I love it.
Can I
I
get-
love every minute of it.
Can I get 1 second real quick? Thank you for everybody coming through from the Lemon Raid. I appreciate you all. Thank you.
Lemon rain.
That rolls off the tongue nice. Lemon Raid.
You gotta say it like this though. Lemon rain.
Chocolate rain.
Hey, listen.
Don't get the Pop Tart singing out here.
Oh, you want to talk about singing? You want to talk
No.
about singing? You
No.
want me to go Lion King
No.
on?
No,
I'll do
no,
it. Don't fuck with me.
no.
I'm a happen. Listen.
Hold on.
There's
Hold on, let me turn
nobody
this off real
else
quick.
in the world that can do this better than me. Yeah, turn me down. You ready?
No, I'm gonna okay. You didn't give me enough
You
time.
can't even do it. You can't do it better than me.
Oh my
Don't be
Oh,
jelly.
My goodness. My face hurts.
I just died on the inside a little bit.
But see, you know what? I need to thank my buddy Savage Vet because he started doing it, and I went, no, I know I can do this better, and I did it, and it was so fantastic that it's like it's now the meme thing. It's fucking great. It's so much fun to create something out of thin air that everybody know and heard and understands, and they just get it, and that's so much fun.
Right.
And you guys, I've learned, and that's another thing about Twitch, this community, and just how I've met some of y'all through other people. And it's just like, yo, this is nuts. It's a culmination. Like, I've legitimately learned something from everyone I've come across, right? Like, and I take it to heart, and I just seriously appreciate you all. And, you know, Blonde,
Yes, Blonde Chick, we are all streamers.
Content creators.
We are
out here
all streamers.
in these streets.
Streamers.
Streams.
Jenna be out here in these streets whooping ass in Rainbow Six. Hey, look, I'm just gonna tell a funny story, right? Randomly, I just got off stream. Pop Tart had a couple, you know what I mean? I had a couple drinks. I get a bloop in my Discord. It's like it's Jenna. She's like, "You want to play
But I
some
mean,
Rainbow Six?"
have
I'm
you
like,
had
I said,
that much of a couple?
I said, "Oh shit, I'm drunk." But you know
But
what
you
I did?
still did it.
I hopped up in there. I
Yep.
was looking bad out here.
But
in these
but
streets.
but were you that gif? Were you handling business like that in the upper right hand corner? Like is that where you were at?
Nah,
that day?
I wasn't that down bad.
You weren't that down? Oh,
I
okay.
wasn't that
Okay.
down. I'm gonna need you to never bring that one back up again.
All right, we'll only bring this one up.
Yo, see, you want some shit right now.
I love it.
Oh, hold up. I seen that. She don't play rank because she would get pursued by the pro teams. She ain't got time for that. Okay.
Oh my goodness, sunshine. no.
Okay.
You know what? I like to play games to have fun with friends, and I feel like if I played ranked, I would just it would lose that fun for me because I'd be so focused on getting a better rank. So I just like to play games for the fun of
It
it.
would get too real.
Yeah.
That's how I feel like when I look at my KD in Warzone.
Oh, my KD is horrific.
I
Oh my
look at it, I'm
gosh.
gonna
I
think about it.
uninstalled Warzone. It's not allowed on my PC anymore.
Oh my God.
Good.
Hey, hi,
I'm
wait,
so
train.
bad at
Hi,
it.
Train. Let's go. Yo.
I don't think your Katie's that bad.
Appreciate you.
I've
My
seen
man,
you play.
popping
Sister,
off.
thank
Play
you.
together.
Appreciate that. That is crazy. Appreciate you stopping by, 50. Thank you, brother. Golly.
Ooh, I do
Hey,
love
make
me
sure
a
you get
hype
some for
train.
me, 50. I'm hungry too.
I don't know if y'all can hear that, but every time I get a new
Nope.
follow, the Power Ranger song comes on and it is lit.
What?
It's the trap step version of it. Lit. For no reason.
Rangers.
I'm about to have to go unfollow and refollow just to hear it.
Oh shit.
I appreciate all the new follows, subs, gifted subs. You all are awesome. I don't deserve none of this shit. I'm just a guy I'm just a
Yeah, you
dude
do.
pretending to be a dude while being another dude.
Did you just really Tropic Thunder up in here?
Yes, sir.
Did you really just Tropic Thunder up in
Yes,
here?
sir.
He did.
Oh my God, Sunshine 3 2 2 3
Hey.
4 3 5. Y'all gotta chill now. Y'all gotta chill. I appreciate
No,
it.
don't chill.
I
Don't
love
calm
you
down.
all.
Never chill.
No,
But
No.
Mother's Day is around the corner.
no.
You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of mothers, Lily of the Valley is my mom, and she has supported me
I
on Twitch
saw.
so much the past couple months that I've been full time. I'm super grateful for her.
Like accidentally subbing or gifting
Thank
like
you,
20
Mom.
subs in your channel.
Yeah, that was
Oh
that
my
was a
God.
mistake.
Wait, hold on. What happened? She accidentally gifted 20 what subs?
20 subs because
Okay.
she hit the 5. She's just like, it's not processing. So she kept pressing.
Oh.
It kept going.
Jesus Christ,
It was
Owen.
so funny.
Oh. Hey, listen,
Jesus.
thanks, Mom.
You all are
Appreciate
nuts.
those.
Thank you all so much.
What
That
level
is
you at?
crazy. Bro, we had five.
Five.
We about to
Yeah,
clear
five.
finally at
Yeah.
61%.
Mhm.
This is all-
Can we make it 69% for the meme,
Ooh,
please?
yes.
Just for the meme. Just for the meme.
Just
is that,
for the meme.
Is that what it was?
for the meme.
175. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, you got to remember Canadian dollars are worth a lot
Professor,
less.
get out of here.
Oh.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that.
Ain't
Oh
even
my
been
God,
drinking
y'all are-
yet.
Yeah, you sober
Oh,
too.
my. There it is.
Hey, yo, that's the worst when you have people that you really rock with on Twitch and you end up in their stream and you're a little buzzed. You're like, that gift button really looks nice right now. I am a
True.
habitual drunk gifter. I look at my bank account afterwards and I'm like, damn. I love you though.
Friends don't let friends drunken Twitch.
Oh
I'm
my
like, oh, I
God.
had a good week at work. Oh, let me gift all these subbies right now.
I feel so good.
Oh,
But I
yeah.
had a bonus. Brrr, gone.
Gone.
It's just so nice
Ramen,
to
peanut
be
butter for the
able
week.
to give
Oh my
back to
God.
other people.
Well,
though.
144%.
Oh, yeah, it does.
All right. Hey, y'all. Look, y'all are crazy. And I love it. You're crazy in a good way. Savage way. Yeah.
In the best way.
In the best way. Always the best way. You know, it's never negative. We say that sounds like me with gin. Not gonna lie, that whiskey hits different. That it's like the gift button starts to glow. You're just like, yeah, we're lit. Hey,
Yes.
I don't even know it.
this
I
is
don't even know.
nuts. You guys are crazy, and this is what I'm talking about. Like this is what we were talking about with communities. Like, look, there's
Yep.
people from other communities jumping in here, showing their ass, and it's all love. Like this is man. Somebody Saturday is about to be bad for somebody because I'm that whiskey gonna hit. That whiskey gonna hit. And I get woo.
It's
Hey,
so nice to see like that raid come back around. I was streaming earlier today. I sent it over to Dib Crew because they're
Oh
the
my
crew that
God.
I'm on. And now they're here. And it's like,
That's
yes, let's go.
Crazy.
Hey, that's what's up.
That
You
is
love it. You love to
love.
see the circle of love that is
That's-
Twitch.
Yes.
See,
yes.
this is
Literally
the good
proof.
side of it.
What
Oh,
goes around
1000%.
comes around, right?
Mhm, definitely.
At least in a positive way.
Oh yeah, Dougie. The day you accept affiliate, I've got look. It's gonna get ignorant. I'm just gonna put it like that.
As long as you have a donation button, people can still give you money. Just saying.
True.
There you go. You don't
You
need
know,
no affiliate
I never-
button. It's fine.
I like the fact,
Just PayPal you. Easy.
there you go,
What's your email?
PayPal you.
Yeah.
Exactly. I don't know. So I guess my thing is outside of getting a sub badge, I don't like from a financial point of view. Yeah, subs are great, but you're
I
giving
love that.
half your money to Twitch.
Yeah.
You all are good.
I
Like,
only do that to people that I love, and that's pretty much everybody I'm
I-
sub to.
I
So
appreciate you. I appreciate all of you. Oh my God. Like, you know what's messed up is I'm the type of guy, I'll lurk you and then just drop a 5 gifted and leave.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
yeah, you did.
I'll just be. Hey,
Here's
what's
here
up?
for you. Boop. What?
All right, I gotta go. Y'all be good. But
That's exactly
Oh,
what you
that's
did to me
funny.
last night, Pop Tart. What the hell?
Exactly.
Yeah, Miss Genevieve was in that stream where I had a few too many, and she's like, "You won't
Yeah,
take
there
number
we go.
one? All right,
Oh yeah,
okay."
in 50s chat.
And then I got a message from Pop Tart the next day. He's like, "Yo, what's up?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "I see a certain somebody on top for the gifted subs." I'm like, "Oh yeah."
Oh, I'm
yeah.
a huge hype train instigator.
Oh,
Being
yeah,
a
she
full-time
is.
content creator, I
Hell
can't
yeah,
afford to give as much myself, but do I instigate? You better freaking believe it.
Yeah, she
Oh
does.
yeah.
You
Out
only
here.
need 14 more to go.
Yeah.
I agree with that comment.
Pando.
Mhm.
I had to.
Pando.
I had to.
Appreciate that, brother.
I may be poor, but I still love you.
That's crazy. See, and you know, it's this whole podcast, right? Like this one in particular, and then not the hype trains and all this. That's great. But look at the communities clashing. I think that's the
Mhm.
best part.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
That
I
is
think-
crazy.
I think one of my favorite things is like popping into like other streams and seeing someone from my community there. I'm like, oh shit. Yes, like you're here. Like, thank you. You're here. You're supporting people that I love.
I've
Yeah,
become
I
cool
think
with
Etch
other
Sketch
streamers.
talked about that earlier. You
Yeah.
go into someone's chat that you know, but you don't think your community knows, and then you bump into people who already know each other, and it's wow.
Like, ooh, do
Like
this
us-
more
like
often,
us
Watch
with
please.
Bennett.
Discord LFGing each other, and you're like, yes, be friends. Be friends.
I am not opposed to that.
Mhm.
I met new made new connections because I was lurking on Twitch one day, and somebody like one of my day ones was watching someone play Apex Legends. It was Kev. He was watching Fluffy. I got cool with Fluffy because of that. I played Call of Duty with him a couple times.
Oh, then we created the Kev, the Pop Tart, the Professor, the Fluffy Dream Team.
Yeah,
we
we was
had to
out
get
here
dubs.
doing the Lord's work. You feel me? You know what I mean? Just laying it down in Verdansk like, oh, y'all don't want none of this smoke, baby. None of it. He said, imagine randomly dropping massive love on someone for no reason. Couldn't be us.
Couldn't be you.
It couldn't be
Nope.
us.
Nope.
But no, that's just really what this is. And I appreciate all of you. I appreciate this conversation we've had. I hope that with the continuing of this kind of conversation that we can maybe affect some change in the world. You know, maybe that's thinking too large, on a large scale. But if I die tomorrow and somebody says, well, that
Pop
guy, like Pop Tart and everyone that was on this panel made me think differently and I'm a better person for that today. Hey, yo, I'm
You're good.
good.
Mhm.
I'm
Yeah.
good. I don't need a whole lot.
Well, I definitely think this is a step in the right direction of inclusiveness, and it's not just about cis men, cis women. It's about people that are transgender as well, and them
Mhm.
being accepted for who they are as a person is so important, and how they want to be seen is definitely something that needs to be talked about. And I definitely hope that you'd be able to have a conversation with people that are transgender and know more about this and their struggle with
Yeah.
streaming and even being a viewer on Twitch,
Yeah.
because
100%.
they're such it's just such an important subject, and having that, you know, visibility being there, because people are scared of what they don't know about, right? And education is the key, just like we were talking about
I
females in
appreciate
gaming.
that. I really appreciate that, Sunshine. Thank you.
Absolutely. You know, the only aspect of any part about is just, you know, I don't care what people's political affiliations are, what your sexual affiliation, like, I really don't care. I truly don't care about when I say that. Like, it doesn't affect me of who you are. Okay.
Yes.
What affects me is when you try to push your ideals and your agenda on people that might have just wanted to know who you are, but you just ruin that relationship because they just watch you try to push, well, if you don't like me, then you know, this is why you need to like me and blah blah. But I mean, like, I say that as in like a real statement. I've watched people, it's literally like when that video came down at GameStop, that poor associate was being berated by a I'm guessing a man that is identifying was a woman, and he kept saying sir because he was so frightened. That's all his brain went back to, and that lady kept yelling at him, "It's ma'am." And I'm like, well, first off, your voice doesn't sound like it's ma'am. You know what I mean? So that poor kid was going through this tragedy, You know, that kind of thing is what I think doesn't need to happen in this world. Yes, okay, so we have to create sympathy and empathy and understanding for a person's way of life, a person's lifestyle, and a person's thoughts and understandings. But what we don't have to do is have people push those onto people that just you shouldn't be that way. It's either they're going to like you or they're not going to like you. It's 50-50.
I'm open
That's
for all
it.
the discussion. And as a human being, you know, that's not too well versed in all of that, I'm willing to learn. You know, I've got nothing against anyone.
Yeah.
But I would ask, and I said this a few weeks ago, just bear with me as like I try to, like, you know,
Yeah.
hit me
Well,
up.
That's questions.
Exactly,
know,
Doug.
Not
You
not
know?
in a negative way, but we're
Yeah.
trying to learn, so we shouldn't, by asking a question, we shouldn't be jumped down our throats that we don't know. If we're asking, we're trying to learn.
Yes.
I
And
agree.
there's it's so important to open those lines of communication because, you know, learning about someone else's world, whether it be someone who's cisgender male, cisgender female, if they're transgender, you know, it just appreciating someone's pronouns for who they want to, what they like, what they go by.
Mhm.
You know, if, you know, who cares if someone has a lower voice and they want to be called she, her? Respect that.
Yeah, I'm
And
not going to go out my way to
you
disrespect
know?
that. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Exactly.
but if you don't know, you shouldn't. That's why I brought it up. It's like that obviously that kid didn't know, and at that point in time, he was so scared that his brain only saw male. You understand? So he was still trying to be respectful and kept saying sir instead of ma'am. He should not have been berated in such a negative manner. Like he shouldn't have been accosted like that. You
But
know, there needs to be
I-
a patience and understanding on both sides is what I'm saying.
Oh, most
There needs
definitely.
to be a patient and understanding on the side of however, whatever terminology you want to identify, because there's umpteen billion of them.
Yeah.
And also on our side where we just feel that there's really only two, but we want to understand why maybe we shouldn't think that way.
Yeah, well, it's definitely a much bigger conversation than what we're allowing it to be right now. But, you know, it's people aren't educated, so they can't make, you know, an informed choice to call someone by their pronouns, their preferred pronouns. And, you know, it's definitely something that I should have no right to talk about because I'm not living someone's life who is transgender. I can't say anything about it. But, you know, I've had conversations with members of my community, like Cherry coming into voice chat with me one night when we were playing Dead by Daylight and just answering anybody's questions. If they had any questions about, you know, his journey, and answering it with an open mind and open heart without, you know, having that backlash. You know, I just respect people for how they want to be seen and who they are.
Mhm.
I also feel like that individual. Well, I don't even. Oh fuck, man! I need to read a book. You know, because I actually fucked around and offended somebody on Twitch, and I felt bad, and I didn't even mean to. You know, but that's besides the point. I think that reaction was garnered by literally that human probably was shit on for years, you know, and that was probably built up aggression, built up hate. Like, you know, I can only imagine because like you said, I can't speak on it because I'm, you know, I don't know. I'm willing to actually be educated on it, so I don't make those mistakes anymore. Because I don't want to be offended. I don't want somebody to offend me. So I'm not
Right.
really. I don't want to be out here just offending people due to sheer ignorance and not self-inflicted. It's just like I've been a straight man my whole life, you know. But I'm not going out of my way to make your day any worse either. You know what I mean? because that's just not productive whatsoever.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the good things, kind of like you were saying earlier with Twitch, is you got to meet people with different countries that you never thought you'd meet. And I think like,
Exactly.
especially myself, I grew up in a very small town. We didn't even have like people of color in my high school. We didn't get out of school for MLK Day. Like wasn't even involved in knowing that stuff. And I didn't realize until I got older how much that had shaped so many of my thoughts. Not that I was racist or anything, but just like not thinking as inclusive as I could. And even the world of Twitch has opened it even more to know more about, you know, pronouns and what that means for people and those that are transitioning. Like it's just it's a lot to learn, but it's being able to have people that you can talk to about that's really awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Growth
Definitely,
is
and-
what matters. I feel like it's
Yeah.
that you can say that you didn't know those things, and then you've grown to be more understanding. I think that's
Yeah.
the main thing.
And I know this is about women in gaming, but I definitely like it's more than just male and female. It's, you know,
Yeah.
there's so much more that needs to be spoken about, and I had to bring at least something up to advocate for, you know, transgender lives.
And that's
I
great
mean,
what you
it's like I've got a cousin who's transitioned from female to male,
Mhm.
and they live it's like 7 or 8 hours away, so we don't get down to see them much often. And my son, who is, you guys saw him peek in here, he's only 6, and one time he saw, quote unquote, her, and then the next time he had already started the process, so he was confused. And him being the person he is, you know, obviously understanding that my son's young, he accepted the fact, and we kind of just, you know, gave him a little bit of an education on it because he's 6. He's not going to really understand it, but it's just getting that slight bit of education on that at a younger age. It starts to, you know, it's just giving them the education versus screaming at them, like you guys have said.
Right.
Yeah,
it turns a misunderstanding into an
Yeah.
understanding.
like berating someone because they don't know isn't going to help your point get across
Yeah,
at all.
no.
And
But
which is
then
why I appreciate people's patience, especially transgender people, their patience for allowing people to ask questions. And it's not everybody. A lot of people are really more sheltered about who they are as a person, and that's okay too.
Well, I mean, I agree with you 100%. I mean, if you look at how society has adapted from, you know, there's only straight, and then if there was gay or bi, it was like the worst thing ever, you know, and then it has adapted, society has adapted across the way so that, you know, it's now it's like in our day and age, the transgender and however, I just don't want to misidentify the terminology. So I want to make that perfectly clear. So when I say how you want to identify, that's I'm clarifying everybody, but that is our hurdle to overcome now.
Correct.
You know, because you know, if you watch society go through, it went, you know, even I'm not a religious person, but I've read the Bible because I was forced to, and it was still there. Even transgender was still there that far ago. It's just people didn't talk about it, and then once people started being openly gay or openly bi or openly however you felt identifying yourself at that moment in time, then it became hatred, and then it became understanding. If you follow a timeline.
Right.
And we're now at the point where we're transitioning from the hatred to the understanding, because people are taking the time to want to know what's going on, like, and to understand like why you feel this way, or the inner workings of understanding of the situation, and changing it from an anger and a hatred to a compassion and an understanding.
Yeah, because you're still living. You still have feelings, and like I previously mentioned, I don't want to ever, unless you're talking crazy to me in Call of Duty, I'm not out here to disrespect anyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that really bothered me. You know, for a minute I was like, yo, I don't think I should stream because I'm not highly versed enough in this. Like I'm a lovable idiot.
That's what I'm saying.
That bugged me because they corrected me. And they weren't even that mad about it. But the fact I was like, damn, I gotta be on my shit. Like I have to actually get educated because I've never been educated about it. You know?
Yeah, definitely. And women in gaming is just one niche that has to deal with crap. People who are brown or black, they have to deal with people, judging them for what their skin color is. And people who are gay or bi, they have people who judge them for who they love. And people who are transgender, they have to deal with people not understanding and misgendering them. And that's everyone has their struggles. And women in gaming, like, yeah, we struggle, but there's others too. There's a whole other bag of worms.
Levels.
It's onion.
It really is.
Really.
Fucking layers on layers on layers.
That's a fact.
I think we have to start to that comment. We have to start supporting each other. And if you need to lean on someone, we're in this together. We might be doing different things, streaming different games, but we're all in the same communities. If you need someone, you can lean on them for the help.
I'm 6'4", 275. You sure you're gonna be able to hold me up?
Well,
I'm a good listener.
I don't skip like that.
My ear will bend for you.
This is kind of going back to, when you asked us about if we support hot tub streamers, like
I didn't say support.
You know what I meant. You know what I meant. Like not seeing them as competition, not seeing people who
just objectifying
choose to, to show themselves on a different way on stream. Like we're not going to objectify or, think any less of people for being who they are. And I think that goes more than just women in gaming supporting women. I think it's just supporting each other
in general.
as humans.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, if you're looking at everybody like competition on Twitch, then you don't need to be on Twitch.
No. And I think there's a lot of people that do have that mindset, and it's not going to get you anywhere, unfortunately.
Nowhere.
You're just gonna be mad, sad, viewing as
you're gonna be the only one sitting there streaming on Twitch to yourself. That's where you're gonna be at.
Yep.
That's kind of where I'm at, but that's because I had to rebuild twice.
Hey, you know what? Starting from scratch and building a community and having people come back time and time again, it's amazing.
Yeah,
it truly is.
I agree.
This conversation has enlightened me. Pop-Tart is going to go read a book later.
Pop-Tart got a new flavor. That's what it is.
And I'm just so grateful. It sounds corny, but I'm legitimately grateful not to be in a position to where, we have a podcast, but to be in a position to where I'm able to communicate and network and meet all you wonderful people and just everyone and engage with people in the chat that I've never met or people that I have met. This is one of those things where you just wake up and you go, damn, it feels good to be alive. Yeah. And that's not a joke. I really appreciate all of you. And this is, like Dougie said, I feel like we're moving in the right direction. And I really want to take the time because I feel like this group of individuals always get shit. They're lazy, don't do shit. I feel like we're starting to move forward because the younger folks are starting to get louder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There ain't nothing like youthful energy. Like getting shit done.
Well, that's the thing. People who are from older generations, they maybe have developed more bias, and younger people have seen people be more open about who they are, and them getting their voices out there is kind of forcing people who are older to become more comfortable or more defensive about accepting other people.
Right.
I didn't even know my best friend was gay until he divorced his wife and I met his new partner, Mike. So I can completely understand how disinformation, we'll call it, can create an opportunity for, a negative reaction.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's a lot. It's out of fear. Yeah, it's out of fear for sure.
Was he going through that alone?
A couple of his friends knew. He was still in the military as well. and it was still during that time of
Don't ask,
before
don't tell.
Don't Ask
Don't
Tell
Ask,
and
Don't
all
Tell.
that stuff
Yeah.
and whatnot. So, but once I found out, I mean, both of my best friends are gay on each spectrum. One is a female and one is a male, and they both like, you know, the same gender, however you want to call it. And I never treated them different. I don't understand why anybody would. That said, the only people that bother me is the people that try to forcefully push this stuff instead of just, you know, positively educating.
Yeah,
there's people
organic
out there.
conversation is
Yeah.
super important.
Yeah.
And, you know, asking questions if you don't know something and not being defensive and putting walls up, because then you're not, you know, you're not going to want to learn. And education, like we've said so many times, is so important to knowing other people, other humans.
I would say education and a willingness to actually want to learn
Yeah.
and change.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people say, you got people arguing with people who went to school for 20 years on one particular subject. You know what I mean? We
Yeah.
live in that time. They're like, well, I know. No, you don't. Stop it.
I know,
You know?
because Google
Okay,
or
boomer. You know what I mean?
Facebook.
All right, hold
said-
the fuck on with that shit right now.
That's the toxicity coming back. Sorry about that. I'll just
Hold on, let me. That was a little bit of venom. Let me bring that back in there. See, you know what happened was you stung me because you said, "Okay, boomer." But thankfully, you're not technically one of those bees that die after you sting. You get to live on and just do your thing.
Well, I'm 35, so I'm basically one. It's okay.
I'm older than you. I'm probably the oldest one in this entire panel. I can guarantee it right now. I can guarantee it right now. So,
I appreciate that because, you know, there's something like I come from a, you know,
dude, up
where-
north
where-
sucks.
no,
Up
where I'm
north
from,
sucks for people.
it's just like growing up, it was always like, nah. There was no avenues to even learn.
Mhm.
And it's unacceptable. Now that I look back on it, it's just fucking unacceptable. And I hope we as a like just a mass grow
We as
closer together and
Yeah.
I don't want to say human no more because it seems like humans always figure out a way to fuck something up. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Us
Like
as a collective group.
we're a collective group
Oh,
of-
sweet Jesus.
enlightened
Atlantics now. Okay.
because we steadily figuring shit out. Like, yo, I'm gonna find a reason to not like you. We're like, fam, did you wake up? Did you is this in your plans? Just like, nah.
Some people, I mean, it's literally what we've been talking about all day. Some people literally wake up to find somebody to hate, and it's fucking
yeah.
sad. Here I am, like me, I have so much shit to do in my life that I don't have time to hate on people. Really. I just don't. You know, it's different if you're gonna get upset and angry at your kids, or if you're gonna end up getting, you know, upset and angry at your neighbor. Like, okay, yeah, you have time for that. You don't have time to wake up and scour fucking Twitch for that one vulnerable person that you just want to ruin their fucking day
No.
No.
just because.
You gotta be a rotten person, like just rotten.
I mean, you
my
have
God.
to be like on the inside. You have to be so ugly on the inside to really want to go out of your way, because that's really what you're going out of your way to make somebody else's life miserable.
Yeah.
Like I've been on the opposite end of that. I can only relate through my nightmares, what I would call it. And people that have never been bullied or even have had a traumatic experience like that will never understand it. That's why it's always been like, well, you're pretty, you don't understand. You know what I mean? Even in that's just the terminology that people use. Because, pretty girls, they always get everything. I mean, I can literally watch my daughter and her life is freaking amazing because her and her man, they're both pretty and they get everything, right? And then I look at me and my wife and I'm like, well, fuck, we ain't ugly, but we struggle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, and I look at this and I'm like, yeah, but you know what though? I have a wife that gives a shit. I have a roof over my head. I have food in my belly. And I'm not like I'm an angry person, but that's my ADHD side. I'm just an angry person, but I'm becoming less angry.
Yeah.
And, you know, and I feel that that's the same transition everything in life is going to go through everybody's lives, even after we pass away, is it's always going to be a transition from a negative to a positive. Hopefully it's never a positive to a negative, but You know,
Yeah.
that's how the world works.
Well, definitely like negative to a positive. Yesterday, someone came into my chat and said, "Fuck you." Never seen them in my chat before. You know what I did? Killed him with kindness. I'm like, oh, you need a hug. Is everything okay?
I love you too.
How you
Does your
you
butt
had a-
hurt?
It looks
You
like
need
you
a
had a
hug.
rough day. Like, are you all right? You know what I mean?
Fantastic.
I remember that.
And you know what though? You actually you probably pissed them off because they were expecting that negative response. Usually, if somebody says
they
"fuck you" in my
want it.
chat, I'm like
Yeah.
"fuck you too," and then I just continue
Yeah.
doing my fun shit.
Sometimes that's the reaction that people want, and when they don't get what they seek, they'll go elsewhere.
Are
Sayonara.
you okay? Do you need your bottom padded? Come here, I'll touch your butt. You know,
PSA,
like,
don't bring that bullshit to the Toaster Nation because someone will tell you about yourself.
yes,
Boy!
yes, they will.
Yeah, just
Yes,
ask
they
them,
will.
you know, at least buy me dinner first. Like, geez.
But you know what, y'all? And I really
Please buy
think,
me dinner. I like it.
I appreciate this because people don't want to talk about this shit. This is some uncomfortable shit. I had to sit here and tell you that, you know, the fact that I offended somebody bothered me. Somebody else would be like, bro, you sound like a bitch right now. Like, no, bro, I think I've grown enough. I've gotten enough growth as a human being that I'm just like, yo, I have my own struggles, right? I've been diagnosed with PTSD. You know, some of us have been deployed in this group. Some of us have gone through some like bullying really badly. But we're here and we're having these conversations and
we're smiling.
yo,
We're smiling.
I'm having a good time. Like the world needs to stop being like people will post openly about having firearms and not wearing masks or wearing masks, but motherfuckers don't want to talk about stuff that's actually like
Happening.
you're like, yo, are you
Yeah.
shitting me?
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is real.
Wait, hold on. I like guns. What's the problem with that?
There's
Oh,
no
yeah.
problem
There's
with that.
But that posting guns on
Wait.
social media is no longer taboo, but talking about your feelings, how
Oh yeah.
other people
yeah.
are treated,
How dare you?
that's the
Especially
taboo.
for
What do you
older
mean talking about
generations, they've
feelings?
suppressed
Yeah.
so many of their feelings and stuff, so that when our generations come out with our feelings, they're saying
Y'all
that
soft.
we feel too much.
Y'all are soft.
Yeah.
But
you-
really,
We're snowflake.
yeah, but really,
Wait, hold
they've
on
just
though.
been
Hold on
suppressed
though.
For so long.
The new generation is already butthurt and they're not born yet.
Well,
Mm,
Okay, you see what I'm saying though, right?
yeah, I understand. Yeah, but I mean, for me personally, I know that for a long time I couldn't talk about my feelings, and if I was upset or I cried, I was being a baby or this or that. And I know that it's the older generations that they suppress their feelings, so you can't show feelings. And I'm someone that feels everything, and I
Yeah.
cry, and I
Are
do
you
this,
are you an
and
empath? My wife's an empath.
I would say
Oh
so.
my God,
Yeah.
I
I
am-
definitely feel
Yeah.
for others. I definitely feel for others myself, and I try to be there for anybody that I possibly can. I always tell everyone, even if you just DM me, I'm here.
Dougie. Listen, Dougie, I got your back. I'm the oldest one here. I can hold it down. We good.
But yeah, I think that kids that are growing up, hopefully their parents are allowing them to express themselves more instead of telling them to shove their feelings down
Yeah,
and
that
not
is
be
the
allowed to
worst thing
express
ever.
themselves. Because I think especially with men and boys, they're taught to suppress their feelings and
Mhm.
not voice what they want to voice and say what they want to say because maybe their father was like, oh, you don't talk about that.
Can I
Or
give you
something.
some insight on that too?
Yes, I would like insight on that.
Now I've never been white.
Yeah.
But in the black community, boy, if you're a black male, my whole life was, hey, don't tell nobody nothing. Don't tell nobody when you're up. Don't tell nobody when you're down. Don't cry. Don't do this. Don't do that. And then you know what? I was dwarfed emotionally, right? And then I made the grand old decision to join the United States Army. Like what? And they were like,
And then it
what?
got worse.
It got way worse. You know what I mean? And then
Well, look at you
now,
now.
but this is after years
Right.
of therapy,
Yeah.
years of
Right.
looking at things, taking accountability of my own actions, and this is why I was telling
You did an
Pamela
amazing
earlier,
job, Lily. You
I'm
did an
guilty
amazing
of oppressing females and I didn't even know it. You know what I mean? And you know, my growth, the growth I've gained over the years, I haven't offended it. Like, I haven't gone out of my way to do anything to anyone because that's not who I am. But I'm not there. You know, I still have blood on my hands. You know what I mean? And I have to recognize that I was a part of a problem. I'm no longer a part. I'm not an active participant in that problem. I'm more on I want to be able to fix it. But I think that's something that every person should have to come to grips with, is like, hey, yeah, bro, at one point you were the problem. You may not be the same person you were 20 years ago, but you were still part of the problem.
And it'd be nice if people would see that you've made that jump and not treat you like it was 15, 20 years ago when you were still that bad person.
Yeah, like it's in, you know, and I was saying this the other day, is we got to stop with the whole dreaded word cancel culture. We got to let people, you know, somebody said some dumb shit 10, 15 years ago and they're completely on a different wavelength. Let's not throw it in their face no more. Let's
all growth.
Yeah. Just let people be grown.
I can say, I mean, every person in this room has probably said something at one point in their life that they're like, ooh, maybe I shouldn't have, or maybe this made someone feel not so great. A lot. I mean, and now you look back at it, we're all adults. We've all grown. The society has changed so much. And it's just growth.
Yeah, having that knowledge and sharing it with other people is how we learn and grow and become stronger together.
And teach our kids. And
Not
creating it again.
It's funny when Pop-Tart was talking about like how men were, you know, taught to hold their feelings in, don't let anybody know nothing. And it's funny because, you know, when the world talks about, let's say, toxic masculinity, right? And I'm specifically saying that term, toxic masculinity, that I feel is potentially part of the reason of why men aren't masculine anymore. And I'm not saying that like effeminate or soft spoken. What I'm saying is the ability for a man to be a man nowadays is actually berated. Just like if a woman wants to feel beautiful, however she feels, it's her right to feel that way. Everybody has their rights to feel however they want. It's your deal. But like if we talk about, let's say, like a man supposed, like, you know, growing up, the man's supposed to be the provider. Well, I'm a provider 50-50 with my wife. Okay. If I don't uphold my end, she pulls the slack. If she doesn't, I pull the slack, right? Like that's how the world's supposed to be. But we're not. When I say we, I mean the people that are slacking to raise their kids that way is a ripple in the water of what has created from the center this negative onslaught of what we're dealing with and what we've been talking about all day today. You know, I don't even think a historian could go back through every bit of data and find out like where it started, because it's almost like the world is a lake and the negativity is rain, and for everybody else it's starting in a different spot, in a different location, in a different magnitude. And the fact that everybody, at least here today and in everybody's amazing community, that we can sit here. Nobody, again, we had a controversial podcast. Nobody screamed, jokingly, yes, but nobody got angry and upset. Nobody was like, fuck you and your ideas. Like everybody was very open. If we could take this ripple and just put it out into the world, I think that there could be the potentialities of change.
Yeah, I
really do.
Turn it into a tsunami of change. We out here, but you know, I don't want to get too deep in the waters of it, but you know, even using the term like, oh, I look at that men are supposed to be provider thing, and I kind of laugh at it because you know how many ain't shit dudes I know.
Fuck yeah.
And you know, people are still holding on to that. Oh, you're supposed to be the provider. Like, bro, you ain't about nothing. like, you know what I mean? And times have changed. You got women running Fortune 500 companies,
Fuck yeah.
billionaires, women just swagging out here,
Girl
got their
power.
pick of their litter.
Yes.
And for me, it feels like there's a certain demographic of men out there that are just mad as fuck about that.
Oh,
You're like,
absolutely.
Yo, my man, chill out. Let him, what? If a lady walks
Yeah.
up to the Pop-Tart, she on her own company, and she's like, hey, you look cute. I'm be like, hey. I mean, I'll watch the
I ain't
kid.
on your level yet.
Yeah,
I
you
can
know what
figure
I'm saying?
something out.
I'm not about to be like, oh no, I have to. Nah. What?
Well, see, that's the thing. Women are choosing to become more like, since we've been able to go to college and university and attain higher education, you know, from what data states, you know, what more women are getting educated, and they've actually surpassed men about who attend college and university because they want to, you know, get smarter, get educated, to find a job, to find employment. And, you know, having that wage gap there is still something, you know, fighting for that equality, the glass ceiling, all of that stuff. It's really, it's rough. It's, you know, to think that, you know, we could do the same job and get paid less money. And it's something that's has been perpetuated for years.
Yeah, I think that's bullshit.
Has
It is
anybody heard of the
bullshit.
pink tax?
Yes.
The what?
Yeah, we get
Yeah, that is
we
the
shouldn't
craziest shit. Go ahead.
we should start getting our shit together like Scotland, because they get all of their tampons, pads for free.
That is
Yeah.
nuts.
Yeah. We have to pay here. We have to pay our taxes on it here. It gets taxed by the government of like it. We shouldn't have to pay to, you know, deal with something that our bodies go through naturally.
Right.
And speaking of like our bodies, you know, letting women have control of their own bodies and their own reproductive system, it should
Mhm.
not be controlled by the government.
No.
Mic drop.
No.
That's it.
No.
Nope.
That's
It's
100%.
It's her
I'll add it
body.
for you.
She's allowed to do what she wants with it.
Mhm.
End of conversation.
Does anybody else find it fucking funny that the people that come up with these rules ain't? Oh, excuse me.
Women?
This
Aren't
is
women?
my country coming out. Aren't women? That is
Right.
wild. I'm like, and then what kills me is there's like a certain group of women that are like, yeah, you're right. I'm like, yo, hold on, I'm taking my. Are you shitting me?
Where's Ruth when we need
Yeah,
him?
there's people that, you know, like Dougie said, there's people that pay for water, true. But you could just go to your tap, you know, get a Brita filter. You got water. You don't have to pay for bottled water, you know, but that's a huge other conversation. There's places where the infrastructure is not there and they do not have potable water. Canada, US, all over the world. So
Mhm.
In Maryland,
You know?
they used to get taxed for rain.
Listen, look, hold on. In Pennsylvania,
What?
that's where I was born and raised. Okay, I'll never go back to live there again, but I visit to see family. They have an occupational privilege tax, and I'm not bullshitting you. You can look it up. You have to pay $50 every year because it's a privilege for you to work.
That's bullshit.
I live in Texas now, baby. We good. I love it here. All right. I'm never going back. And it is amazing. So we don't pay state tax. We pay 8.25% sales tax, but there is no state tax. You only pay federal and that's it. Property taxes, depending on where you live, are even lower than where most people would even think to be at. And it's amazing down here of how much that they help the veterans. It is crucial.
Thank
And
you,
I'll never
Alfredo.
understand it. Why up north is so I don't want to label them a specific way, but they're so uptight. Really. They're so fucking uptight in the world. And like I moved down here and it was culture shock. Everybody's nice. Everybody's shaking your hand and open doors for you and saying good morning and waving as the kids are in the bed of the pickup and they're going off to fishing and like, hey, we're going fishing today. Like I'm not used to being around an environment like that. You know, I'm around people just being negative and brooding and always just sacks of shit. And then, you know, here we are now. We have people from Canada. We have people from Southern United States, Northern United States, and everywhere in between in the community. And collectively, we can all get together, and it's so fucking positive in here. I'm going to explode.
Take that, Canada.
That's why I've always enjoyed the podcast since I've been watching it, because you guys can talk about the hard things, and it's not like
And we're not scared.
exactly, and you're not even if you have difference of opinion, you're not jumping down each other's throats, which is the
We grown.
common thing. And I'm so
We
tired
grown.
of seeing
Listen,
that common
I
thing.
feel
When
like
this
that's the
before
point.
Professor popped in here, we were the ebony and ivory at Twitch. Fuck y'all.
Are
All right,
we about to say Miss? It's Mariah, correct?
Yes,
Miss
it's
Mariah, I'm
Mariah.
sorry.
What were you about?
No,
to say?
you're fine. No, I was gonna say I feel like that's the whole point of having a conversation about these hard topics. Is I feel like a lot of people are so quick to like throw their guard up and be like, whoa, 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 like you're wrong, like no, and there's no room for you to actually like learn and get educated and have those kind of conversations. So being able to have a healthy, open conversation, even if you do have, you know, a little bit of a difference of opinion, at least you're open to getting the information and the education on certain subjects.
Yeah,
it's
having
the,
an
it's the
open
key word you
conversation.
used.
Mhm.
That people, if they disagree with you, they want you to change your mind, but they don't want to give you a reason to change your mind. They just want to yell about
Because
why
it's my way, Etch.
not
Why aren't you
thinking the same
changing your
thing
mind?
they
It's
think.
my way. This is how the world
know.
works. This instant
Or the highway.
gratification need of extended adolescence is reminding me that I need you to be my way.
And the terrible thing is they never have a reason. They just say, but it's just because of this.
It's because,
I
and
mean-
you know why? It's because as you were being raised, it became from this is why to just because as a parent.
Bruh, when I
Boom.
argued with
Mic drop.
you know, the gay community being able to be married, this dude was like, no, that it's in the I was like, bruh, are you shitting me? Like, are you like they're people too? They want to get married, they
Love
love
is love.
just the
Who
same. And he's like,
cares?
I was like, why do you why
Love is
are you
love.
mad at that? Because what? You're not saying anything. You're not giving me anything. You just sound like a dickhead.
I
Like-
think it's I
They
think
don't
it's
have any
a
kind of retort for that.
it's a huge cop out to use religion as like a, oh well, the Bible says. Well, I mean, I feel like okay, I'm from California, so like I feel like in the States, like everyone is so big to push like, oh, religion
Yeah.
with politics, and it's like you can't
That's
force one
horrible.
religion on every single person. Everyone has different views, and I thought the whole point of like, oh, my
Separation
rights,
of-
you know, like
Yeah.
you have your right to have your own religion, so so should other
Exactly.
people.
And you know what my argument was?
Exactly.
It was an ignorant ass argument. I was like, look, if they want to lose half their shit too, then let them have it. He was
Exactly.
like, well, what the fuck?
Exactly.
There's tax breaks and things like that. I was like, because they're
Who cares?
married. I
Because
said,
they're
bro,
married.
Yeah.
I said, you don't even have a job. You don't even pay taxes. What are you talking about? Like, what? Shut the fuck up.
You have
It's like
You
it's like
know
people
we're
are bitch
here.
about what the president does or doesn't do, but yet they've never voted a day in their life.
And then people use religion and politics, Dougie, and you're right. And forget that in the US, we have a thing called the separation of church and state. And I'm like, what the fuck? My brain just explodes. And I'm just like, you guys are all idiots. Boy, I can't wait till I'm worm food. Get me out of here.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm to the point now where I'm so sick of politics. I'm so sick of the political process that I am really, really fighting to become an alderman and start there at the ground up. And just it's Pando for alderman, and that's it. And I'm gonna go all the way to the presidential office. And you know why? Because people need people that will talk to them like fucking people. I'm not above anybody. Nowhere near. I can't see it's all linear. You understand what I mean? Like we're all on the same page. I don't give a fuck how you are, where you are, what you are, or how you identify. We all have the same innards. You understand what I mean? From the most part.
If you stab me,
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
bleed.
It's it.
Same.
It's like, yeah, it's well, except some people bleed green, but that's another story. But what I'm saying is like,
what?
yeah, there's a disease. Welcome to ADD. But what I'm saying is if you've ever noticed any politician, even the best ones that are like Dan Crenshaw and stuff like that, they always will only tell you what you want to hear or what they need you to hear to get what they want. And that is the political shit that pisses me off. It's the same reason why, you know, transgenders and however you identify is having the same type of trouble. It's the reason why females are having the same type of trouble. It's the reason men are having the same type of troubles, because people only want to tell you what you need to hear or what you want to hear and not what you need to hear. And it's hard to tell people what they need to hear. And see, that's where a lot of people that came into my life would think, well, you're just an asshole. You have an ego. You're a piece of shit. And I'm like, no, I just tell you how it is and you don't like it.
Yeah.
It's tough because like I think like when it comes to politics, a lot of people are, you know, pulling on people's heartstrings and using their own
Yep.
agenda by using religion to
Mhm.
to get certain votership for their parties.
The
and
last presidential
that's
election
just-
proves everything.
it's
Politics is
absolutely
so rough.
horrific. And like
Mhm.
I really like it's so tough now, and like I still am trying to find the proper way to identify people and the difference between sex, male and female, and gender identity, and having that, you know, to
Can
see
somebody
it, to
build me
just
a flow
visibly
chart? Help me
see
out.
it is just it's mind-blowing, and it's not something that's easy to learn, and a
It's
lot of
not.
people just kind of block it out because they don't want to know about it. And
Thanks,
trans
Steve.
lives
They want to
matter.
pretend like it's not there so they don't have to deal with it.
Yeah, exactly.
But what kills me with that too is we all know life would be so much better if we just treated each other the way we would like to be. Everybody says that corny shit. Treat people
Yeah.
like you want to be treated.
Yeah.
Then let's practice what we preach. We wouldn't
Yeah.
have these problems. Like we are so advanced. Like you got drones. We got Amazon is delivering literally same day. We still can't even get over trivial shit like what you look like.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's like people want to base you off what you look like, not and not, you know, they want to say, are you male, are you female? There's no, you know, the gender construct of how a man should be and how a woman
Thank
should
you,
be. Like,
JB.
let people be who they want to be and who they are.
Yeah, it would be so much. It's the fix isn't that hard, right? It's just stop being a dick and just love each other.
Pretty
Be
much, yeah.
open-minded.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it-
I kind of enjoy being a dick sometimes, but it's always
don't
for
get
a
me wrong.
positive. It's always for a positive game. Though. Okay.
Like
being a-
I rage in Siege. I yeah. Fuck you. I'm
Do you
gonna
know?
shoot
Do you
your
know what
fucking
Thanks,
mouth.
bothers
Chad.
me, Jen? Do you
Appreciate
know
you,
what?
brother.
You know what really pisses me off, and
What
this is gonna
grinds
go.
my
This is gonna
gears?
go back to the other stuff we were talking about earlier.
Mhm.
The first stream that I jumped in and was watching you play Siege,
Yeah.
and somebody had to leave your group because they had something to do,
hmm
and your first thought was, "Oh God, now we're gonna have to play with randoms, and it's
Yep.
gonna be so toxic." Like, do you know how much that really? Like, I was sitting here and I'm like, "Fuck, Siege has an update, and I have shitty internet, and I can't be a part of this because I know that I could fill that slot. I suck, but I could go play and not have." And like, it bothers me that I felt so compelled to do something about it. Like, it is just, it's fucking, man, people stop being fucking assholes
Well, that's all it is
or twat waffles or fucking whatever the fuck you want to be. Just stop. Just stop.
dinglebraces, you know what I mean?
There you go.
But you know, just having a friend like you as an ally who wants to be there and like hang out with me and game with me, like that's great. Doesn't matter your gender. Like
Mhm.
Right.
I like, let's game together, you know? And
Oh, we will.
having that fear of someone, you know, who I don't know who's going to play with me, it's just automatic mute and deafen. I don't want to hear
Oh, yeah.
what they
Yeah.
have to say because I don't need that kind of negativity. And
Well, I'm down to play anything and everything with anybody that
Except
needs
Warzone.
a do. No.
Who plays Warzone? Where that? Where that? Where the smoke at? Where
Nope.
that?
No.
Where that?
Gotta get on my team.
Yeah.
No.
Where that?
I don't play Warzone. Bye.
only if you're
See you
gonna
later.
carry, Sammy,
I'm out.
because I suck.
I can't carry, but I can offer a good time.
Okay, well that's fine.
If
I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
Yes.
to
Sammy.
be honest, if it wasn't for
I'm
my
out here.
internet being still in the fucking Stone Age, I'd probably play Warzone again. But it's very difficult playing and streaming and having even just under 100 ping. It is still very difficult to play that game and be competitive. So I don't like to put my community and my friends through that because all I'm going to do is be negative and toxic the whole time, and people don't want to watch that.
Right.
And that's the only game I have a problem with. I can play PUBG, I can play Cursed, I can play Realm Royale. Fuck, I can play Fortnite. And I have no problem. It's only on Warzone is the one that I have the biggest problem with. And I'd love if y'all can if you know what, I will you know what? Fuck it. I will download Warzone tomorrow night
It's gonna take all night.
It's gonna take all.
Yeah.
No, actually, it won't because my
Don't
son
know.
has it on his external hard drive, and all I gotta do is plug it in and search for game. Boom, done. Anyway,
Until them
Let's do it
updates hit.
tonight.
and
Till them
and
updates hit.
Miss Sammy, we're gonna play because I need a carry, and
Let's
then
go.
we're gonna play with four people. We're gonna do.
I can't carry.
You're gonna have to. You're gonna figure something out. You think I'll wear this because I'm good? Fuck. And
He needs something to carry.
for y'all, I will start playing again. If it means and Siege 6 too, Jen, we're gonna play. If it means
You know what?
having
If
somebody
you'll
positive,
be my meat shield, I'll play with you. Okay.
listen,
you run
Bullet
out
Sponge
and
is
try
my
and-
name.
Excellent. Okay.
If you've never seen me play fucking Rainbow Six, it's either I'm the dude sniping everybody through the fucking windows, or I'm the guy that's getting blapped by some dude camping around on the stairs.
That's the
it.
only reason Pop Tart keeps me around. I
Oh,
make
yeah.
I knew it.
mean call
I
outs
knew it.
and
You get smoked, and
knew there was a
I'm
reason.
on ass. I'm like, oh, word?
Yeah.
What is
And-
that?
Rue is
So
kind
s-
of going back to what we were talking about earlier, how, if you're in a game with randoms, you're going to be muted. And
Yeah.
I don't know if there's going to be a point where we'll come to that point in time where we can just, game
I
and
don't think it
talk.
will. I don't think
Yeah.
it will.
No?
The
I
only
don't think
reason
so
that I have voice chat on is for the
Com.
kill. Yeah, like the end kill when they say go fuck. Man, I clip the shit out of that, and I make highlight videos, and it's funny as shit to me.
I keep it on just for when they say, "Oh, they're right here," so I know they're close to me.
Yeah,
I
That-
got called
and
the
that-
N-word last week, and I was not too happy
that's
about
fucked
that.
up.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Oh my
see,
God.
yeah.
Well, dude, that's
son.
like what happened. Like we were talking about the last podcast we had and
I
whatnot. What
said-
happened to Odin's son?
Oh yeah, they played
Like
on that.
that's just I will never understand why. I guess because I am a selfish person, but I'm not a selfless person. Like I would never go out of my way to shit on somebody's parade.
Kitty.
But why people feel like that shit's okay bugs the fuck out of me.
That's crazy.
There's being misogynistic,
That's
there's
crazy.
being racist, but
Wait,
when
You make games?
it gets to a point where people are using slurs, like
Yeah.
Yep.
He said
on.
that shit like nothing. Like I was like, yo, and all I said, my reaction was fucking racist. That's why
Well,
your ass
and I mean,
dead. Just
mhm,
kept it pushing. Like,
the
what?
reason
Come up
I
with
talked to
something new.
Pop-Tart about that is because I used to be racist, very bad, like American History X bad, and then I got educated and I began to not understand like what their life was, why I was being this way. And then he became like, I still talk to him. I still talk to the dude that helped me understand that I'm being a complete piece of shit and to change my ways. And if I can do that, there's no reason people can't change the way that they think about people. Period. Like there's just no way. I am living proof that I can go from hating everybody that isn't white, which is weird because if you look at the history, Sicilians were made from Italians and blacks. Okay, legitimate. If you look all the way back through genetics, that's how it was created. So literally, I was even hating on myself,
yeah,
and I
well,
can go back and
out
I
of
can,
Africa
I
is
can be okay
is
with that.
thing, everyone came from Africa at some point, and then continents, people went to different continents, and that's just, people just choose to, like who they want to like and judge other people because of the color of their skin. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's
I
so
agree.
ridiculous.
But you should also be
Judge them by
commended,
their character.
Pando, because
Yes,
that's
I don't
fucking
bravo.
amazing. That's fucking
awesome.
amazing.
Yeah.
You
I don't
like-
want to be commended. I
You
just
know,
want
but
people to
you-
know that you can change.
And no, you
You
educated yourself.
deserved to be commended because there's
Yeah.
still people out there with the same with ease of access to the same shit you went and taught yourself that refuse to do it.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Give your look, bro, look at this hat. W's. Give yourself a goddamn W. Like
Yeah.
what?
You chose to let your walls down and to educate yourself and learn more, and that's respectable.
Well,
and
I think
being honest about your past
when
is too.
when I was going through that you want to call it, time in life. And this is why I asked specific questions, like when we were talking about, well, do you feel that they objectify themselves if they do this, or do you feel this way? It's because, like when we talk about people come in and they are toxic, even trolling to a point where it becomes really bad. And that's why I asked, do you feel like that's an outcry for help? Because really, I think the reason that what I was doing was because I was going through something so detrimental and so negative in my life that was my outlet, was to make somebody else feel miserable, because at least it made me feel good.
Right.
Yeah, you were projecting your negative energy to other people.
Right. And that's why I ask these questions. It's not because like I'm being a dick or I'm not understanding certain things. It's like I play I'm going to ask this question now, and I'm going to bring it all the way back at the end of the podcast, because it's just going to sync everything together. It's why I'm very strategic when I ask my questions. There's a huge strategy, and nobody knows it. And I don't even understand why my brain works this way, but it is. If you look back at every podcast,
it's all you have
been
done
like
it.
that every
you
time.
have done it. I'll be like, this motherfucker's cold with it. Let's go. Let's go.
And that's what it is, though. People will think that I'm cold. People will think that I'm heartless and emotionless and not understanding. That's why I explained
I didn't mean cold.
No, I got you. But that's why I explained I have ADHD. I scored a negative 8.9 on the TOVA test. If you don't know what that is, that's a test for ADHD. And like, I'm almost to the end of that spectrum. Like, I'm to the point where I have to be medicated, and I'm okay with that. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I can relate, because when I had my first 48 hours on Adderall, it was a wave of emotion. And I'm talking like 30 plus years of emotions that have been repressed because I didn't know how to process them. Like, I literally spent like 12 hours in bed just crying, freaking out, because I don't know what's going on inside me, because I didn't understand that all that time that was going through, I just repressed everything that I thought that I felt.
Yeah.
And like, I was processing that in 30 years in 12 hours. It was nuts. So I understand when people have difficulty with misidentifying gender people. I understand that, and then empathetic, what you guys go through every day, just clicking that go live button. I go through it too. Mm-hmm. Pop-Tart goes through it. Everybody goes through it. Anybody that's willing to put themselves out on display, whether you're on camera or not, because your voice, your mannerisms, everything that you do that's vocal is still out on display for the world to see and the world to judge. Mm-hmm. So I commend anybody that's willing to put that go live button, get out there, hit post on TikTok, hit post on Twitter, and put yourself out to the world, and know that what you're doing makes you happy. Fuck everybody else. And I say it that way to be very direct, because if it makes you happy, who gives a shit about the dude that's being negative?
Yeah, if it makes you happy, you ain't hurting nobody. Fuck
you
him.
shouldn't.
Live
Fuck
your
him.
life. Live your
That's
life.
what I'm
baby.
saying.
Oof.
That's where I'm at with it.
It's hard. So my husband tells me he uses that exact same phrase. If it makes you happy and it makes you happy, keep doing it. But I can't. I struggle with it.
Mm-hmm. I've almost quit 5 times in the last month and a half, because I battle with myself. Mm-hmm. Okay, I battle with really bad internet, so I'm not beautiful crystal clear when some games that I play. But anybody that plays Tarkov knows that this will never happen. But I got affiliate playing 480p, blocky pixelated like shit, with a 0.9 megabyte upload speed. Okay, and I constantly. Oh, I know. Trust me, you don't even know what I pay for internet right now. You would cry. You would the entire community would get together to get these fucking people to bring fiber optic down the road like they're talking about. Okay, and if I can do that, and if I can keep things, the biggest battle that I have, which I'm pretty sure is what you guys have had, is I hate the fact that I have almost no interaction in chat on some days, like none. Mm-hmm. But yet I talk like there's 40 billion people in there, because I know I have to practice. I can't just be that dude that's
just playing the game, forgetting that he's streaming.
Exactly.
That's
Like
me
no
sometimes, honestly.
personality, like nothing, no personality. And I battle that inside because I'm like, well, if like for 2 weeks I had 0 new growth, 0. And I'm like, okay, did Twitch shadow ban me? Like, am I not hitting algorithms in my social media? You know, I'm not understanding this and that, because for a while, man, I was getting hundreds of new views every day. Every time I went to stream, hundreds of new views. And then it was a dead stop for 2 weeks. Nothing. Like, I just, like, the entire world just ghosted me. Have y'all ever gone through that?
A little
Because I
bit,
mean,
yeah.
and I'm just saying, like, you're seeing a reasonable, I don't want to say steady growth, but just a growth. And then just immediately, nothing. Like, the entire meta and algorithms for Twitch completely changed and said, fuck that guy. I battle with that inside, and I still hit the go live button.
Oh yeah, every
Mhm.
streamer has their own, like, sometimes I sit there, you know, if I'm having a bad day, my depression's really rough, like and it's a huge hump to get over to even press the go live button. And I commend anybody for being able, you know, for having 1 viewer to, you know, 100,000 viewers, to being able to hit live and feel confident in their ability to be a content creator and put themselves out there, like you were saying earlier. It's
Get back on that horse,
respectable.
Ray Merrick.
Yeah,
'cause you can't-
the
Get back on that horse. You can't let them win.
No.
You
Go ahead,
can't.
Ray.
I mean,
Right now,
I really only stream right now 1, maybe 2 days a week. And that's partly because, you know, I'm doing more things with the kids with the time change, but I haven't quit. And normally I've got 1, 2, maybe 3. But I don't hardly hit many viewers, but I still keep going.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
I
you just
try to live-
have to. You just
hang
have to
out.
keep
Yeah.
on trucking.
Well, no,
And
it's
it's
just
hard.
it's just really weird that, like, even if I had 1 new view, I was okay because it wasn't a goose egg. But I'm talking 2 weeks. I used to stream for a little while. I had to take a break, but I used to stream every day. I either did a morning stream and an evening stream, or I did 1 long afternoon into the evening stream, and I streamed almost at least 6 times a week minimum. And then all of a sudden, while doing that, it was 0. No new views, no hover views, no nothing. And I was hoping that it was an algorithm thing, because, you know, Twitch
you, Hitman.
changes their fucking mind like every 2 seconds. They're like an infant child. And I was kind of curious to see, you know, what everybody else's struggles while growing,
I think
if they've
like
hit that.
things like that can be like super disheartening, like going,
Very.
especially when you have like one really, really, really good stream where like chat is super active, you have the viewers,
yeah.
like, you know, like it's super hyped, like everyone's hyping you up and you have a great stream. And then the next day it's very quiet. It's very like no interaction, nothing. And it's like going from polar opposites. It's kind of like, okay, what am I doing something wrong? Like, is it
Yeah.
me? Like,
Yeah.
I struggle with that where I'm like, oh my God, like I'm not entertaining. I'm not good enough. They don't want to come back.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
the next day you have like a little bit of interaction. It's like, okay, maybe not. And it's like the imposter syndrome is so real and it's
Oh,
so
yeah.
strong sometimes, and it's hard to get over.
In
Having-
a world full
having
of
those-
numbers, that's what gets you. And
Mhm.
because I'm so small, I can see the numbers a bit better, maybe, or maybe I fixate on them. I don't know, but someone will follow, and then I'll see that someone unfollowed. I don't know who that person was, but then I'm like, well, maybe they didn't like me, maybe, and that's immediately the first thing that goes into my head.
That's
Oh, they didn't
me
like
as
me.
well. That's
And
me
I-
as well.
Expectations, most of the time, expectations will lead to disappointment. I have my numbers turned off when I
Yep.
go live. I
Yep.
don't
Oh,
look at
I
them.
do too. Absolutely.
I can't anymore because, you know, I was letting it get to my head and I was letting it bother me, and I would go and at the end of my stream and I would look at all my analytics and compare them
Yep.
to the month before, and you
I gotta
can't
stop.
do that.
I only look back to see if I played a multitude of games that month
Hmm.
and see what games people enjoyed watching besides asking in Discord, because I don't want to play a game. If I'm going to play a game that I enjoy and nobody else enjoys, I'm just going to play that off stream and enjoy it myself. unless I
Right.
feel like that day, fuck everybody. I'm gonna watch what I want to watch. I'm gonna play what I want to play. I mean,
As long as you're
Um,
doing it for yourself and you're enjoying what you're playing, people will find enjoyment with you
Yeah.
for the most part.
I've had to tell myself that because like at one point,
that's why I stopped playing.
that's why
Warzone.
I play a lot of Call of Duty because I'm cracked at Call of Duty. I don't want to get into something and be trash and people be like, "Oh, you're trash," but then I'm like, "Yo, maybe somebody who's watching might not be good neither." And they're just like, "I want to watch somebody else struggle." But
You know
Me.
what?
That's
People-
why. That's
People
why my
that call me
buddy's watching.
trash, you know what? Bitch, this is my tier 3 emote. There's a reason why. There's a reason why.
I
I
got
am
that.
not that good at games, but you know what? I have fun, and that's the most
Yeah.
important thing in my
You
mind.
can tell if you're having fun or not, or if you're actually
Exactly.
enjoying the games that you're playing. So you got to play what you want.
I know most of the time people like watching me in my misery because like I was playing Amnesia Rebirth, right? I love the Amnesia gaming series. It is so well written. Yeah, okay, sometimes graphically it doesn't look great, but the how it immerses you into their story is fucking incredible.
Mhm.
And then you have your scare alerts set up and you have them set like super cheap, and everybody just loves fucking pounding that button and scaring the shit out of you. And then they're typing in chat, look at it, and going crazy. Like, I absolutely love that interaction. I could give two I would make it all 1 bit if I gave a fuck, but everybody would abuse it.
Oh,
One
yeah.
day
But-
I'm gonna stream Sekiro. Heroes, like what is it? Sekiro died, like something dies twice.
Oh yeah, Shadows
I've had
Die
that-
Twice. Yeah.
Bro, I've had that game since it came out. I haven't beaten the first level yet. That's how
It's 'cause
hard
you-
that game. I was like,
Well, it's
fuck
because
this.
it's because you don't play it like you would play
Yeah.
it Dark
Sek-
Souls. You know what I
that
mean? Like I
game
play Dark
is
Souls. I
insane.
like the agony.
That
You know.
game is
So what you're saying is you're a masochist. Okay, cool.
Only in gaming.
breaking
Only-
down.
Okay, gotcha.
And it's for the content. Like I enjoy failing
That game
because
is brutal.
people don't want to watch somebody constantly succeed because that's not what life is. We don't constantly succeed in life. We fail forward. Like I literally have gone through one of the worst tragedies I could have ever have had in my life. And as of 3 days ago, I got another vehicle. I got to do a small repair and then I'm back to work. I haven't been to work in almost a year and a half because I've been trying to make sure my wife has everything she needs and my kids have, the opportunities they have. So I haven't had the finances to fix a car. I haven't had the finances to do all this stuff. But what I did was I had all this equipment. I mean, I have 4 monitors, technically 5.
Oh my
I
God.
have a great PC that half of it, if not 3/4 of it, was gifted by my community. This chair was gifted. So it's amazing to try to do my part, but what the world doesn't see is the inner agony that we go through as content creators.
Mm-hmm.
They don't see like, oh, did I do this right? Did I handle that situation that happened in chat? Is this going to become another live stream fails because I said something fucked up? Or do I even go? I go through it almost every time. I'll sit here, I'll get everything in order, and I'm like, I'm ready to go. And I look up to hit go live, and I'm like, I don't
Fuck.
feel good.
You start overanalyzing and
Mhm. Yep.
and criticizing yourself and thinking, there's so many other people on right now that people would rather watch. And, you can choose, like you do that self-talk, that negative self-talk, and you get yourself down in a hole. And, that's where I was like a few weeks ago. I took 12 days off. Sometimes
took
it's
10.
hard. Sometimes it's hard. And,
Oh no!
If-
Don't do it! Don't do
I
it!
know it's a reaction.
Listen, I just took Adderall. I'm good. I won't be on it for a while. But
yeah.
It's too late.
I will tell you, like
I'm crying in the
Two-
club right now.
You did it too.
I'm in the club.
two of the
All 4
biggest
of us.
influences that continue to
I'm
help
glad
me
I don't have my cam on.
I'm sorry, I'm boring
Is,
you all.
is
No.
I'm kidding.
Pop Tart and Professor proven every day that we can do what we do, and it's fun and it's amazing, and people want to watch. Whether it's this podcast, whether it's what we do on streaming, whether it's what we do in our Discord. I love the fact that they'll watch UFC as much as I hate watching it because I think it's just a whole bunch of dudes playing grab ass and high-fiving each other the whole goddamn time. It's not like back in the day, though. It's not like back in the day. Back in the day, it was a brutal sport. Now I understand because, safety and we don't want people getting hurt. I get it, but I missed the
Bruh,
back
you
in the
obviously
day.
just didn't watch.
I didn't watch the last one.
week.
But what I'm saying though is,
I don't think UFC has ever been that way.
Yes.
No,
So
you're talking boxing.
No. Fight
Yes.
you. I got you. That's it. That's
Dougie
it.
out here.
Where you want to go? Hold up. Wait, no, me. No, me. No. Anyway, Doug, I got. Listen, just so you know, I was the number one man with the shield on the cell extraction team in corrections. So I mean, I know how to fight. I know how to not get stabbed. I know how to put people in their ass real fucking quick. So you want to fight? We'll fight. I'll probably what'll happen though, Dougie? What'll probably happen is you'll go to fight me. I'll high five your face and hug you and make you feel better, and then we'll go to dinner.
Aw,
Oh,
that's
yep.
so
Oh
wholesome.
shit! If that's the case, I want to fight too.
Can I
wanna
fight
for
too?
dinner.
Let's all fight together.
Yes. Cuddle,
Hey,
cuddle?
I
If it
used to
comes,
do
if
that.
it comes with a
Okay.
steak dinner, I'm
Okay, if
fighting
it's cuddling,
everybody.
it's okay.
Well, post COVID, like let's wait until
I only like
everyone's
yeah.
vaccinated.
fight in the defense. If you understand what I mean, like I have no reason to fight people, but if you want to step up and fight, I'm gonna show you why you shouldn't.
I want to go and get a steak. So can we fight? Because I'd like a steak dinner.
Same.
Like I was thinking like peanut butter and jelly and a bag of
Oh,
chips.
see, you a
Oh,
cheap
no,
date.
no, no, no.
Nah,
I'm not a cheap
man,
date, man.
you
You know
a
what I'm
cheap
acting like.
date. You
All right,
say you
listen,
taking
guys.
people
I'm gonna
to
start
dinner.
selling everything off of my wall so I can take Pop-Tart out on a date. Oh, let's talk about taking Pop-Tart out on a date. Maple bacon bourbon cheesecakes. That's all I'm saying.
Stupid.
Really quick though, I actually have to go have
Okay,
dinner.
bye.
Speaking of
Oh,
food,
Enjoy.
Yeah, we about to-
Please go eat.
yeah,
I'm
we
like, I
need to-
haven't.
It's about
and I
9
need to
o'clock.
go.
You can
Yeah,
you
I'm
can
like,
thank
I
all the
gotta go.
raids for how
He said
long
it's
this
about 9
podcast
o'clock. It's
has gone
almost 10
on
o'clock.
for.
Yeah, it's almost.
You
Pop
can thank
Tart
the
out there
raids for why this has been going on an hour past what we should
Bye,
have been.
Mariah.
But thank you guys for having me
Thank
Thanks
you
for
for
being here.
showing up
and for the
being
great
amazing.
conversation. Love you, Jen. All right,
Love
bye guys. Have a good
Appreciate it.
night.
Thank
Nice
you.
meeting
I'm gonna
you.
leave too,
Nice
guys.
meeting you.
Bye.
Make
Bye,
me a
Ed.
plate.
Bye,
Nice
Etchy.
meeting
Have a
you.
good stream.
Thank
Can
you.
I get a tinfoil plate though?
Yeah, that's like, can
Yeah.
I get a plate?
With the tinfoil over the top. Keep it gangster.
Let me get a plate. I
I don't
want a
want
plate.
I don't want no Tupperware. Just put some aluminum foil over it. We good.
Can I just talk about Blonde's comment for a second? I definitely get that. Like when I first started full-time streaming, the support that was coming in, and it was crazy.
I have a
It
problem
made
with
me hella anxious. Like, am I deserving of this? Like,
Oh my God. Go
who,
to bed.
who in
Go
their
to
right
bed.
mind
Oh my
is
goodness.
giving me their money for me just sitting in front of my computer playing games? There's that guilt there too.
Yeah,
I don't
Of-
deserve this. Why? Like,
Exactly.
and
It's
I'm a
it's
big
even really tough. I'm
problem
sorry.
with imposter syndrome where I'm just
Oh,
like,
yeah.
why? But why me?
Yeah.
I don't understand. I don't
And
understand.
then again, it's thinking, oh, someone else is more deserving. But
Yeah.
you have to, the thing is, for streaming, for Twitch, you're in it for yourself. No matter how much you say it's for your community, it's other people.
Well,
It's for
right.
you.
If it weren't for you, your community wouldn't be there.
Exactly.
So you are streaming for yourself.
Yeah.
And
You know-
that is selfish in its own way, but that is okay.
So how do you guys, or ladies and gentlemen, I should say rather, however you want to feel. I had the biggest struggle helping my wife understand something, and I'm wondering if anybody else with a significant other has dealt with this as well. So I used to have a decent community when I first started off, and I would throw up my Amazon wish list to show everybody what I got going on, what I'm working towards, whatever, and then just randomly shit would start showing up at my house. And my wife would get upset because she's like, well, why are people buying all this? Like, you're mine, because we're very connected. Okay. And I explained to her, I said, well, if they want to spend their money, let them spend their money,
Mhm.
and I had to get over that too. Cause I'm like, well, why are people subbing me? Why are y'all donating to me? Like, I'm just, I started this to get and feel better about myself and to create it's the weirdest feeling. You would think that I don't have social anxiety disorder, and I do.
Yeah, same.
But it's weird though because it comes in phases.
I
So
get it all the time that people don't think, really, you? And I'm like, I know, but just because someone's exterior, you don't always see it. It doesn't mean that someone's not going through something that you may not know.
Yeah, everyone's, interior, they're dealing with their own battle that no one may know about.
I'm picking at my hands under my desk, and that's just because
listen,
Anxiety, yes.
no bullshit. I
All the
pick it.
time.
I'm right there with you.
and I'm comfortable with you guys. I'm comfortable here as we're going, but it's
habitual. It's a nervous tick that has become habitual. I do the same thing.
Yep.
Like it's
I
the
don't know if
same
anybody
reason
knows.
why Professor always has his hand over his mouth.
Yeah, always.
It's literally that's so I understand psycholinguistics. I understand the psychological part of our subconscious, and it's things we do because Professor doesn't talk a lot. We force him to talk because he needs to understand that his opinion matters, his voice matters, and he matters.
Mm-hmm.
But people, like if you've ever noticed people that sit at a table when they're talking and they're like this, I would consider you lazy.
Yeah.
Because
always.
that screams to me, you can't even hold your own damn head up. Like, why are you even sitting here doing our business?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I have to get over that because now that I understand that, yeah, okay, it's still a thing. It's just like, people that have literal tics. Like my wife, it used to be really bad. I don't know where her Tourette's went, but she used to scream fuck a lot, or she would do this it would be like an eye wink and a head twitch a little bit. And that was at the beginning of our relationship, and now towards the end, it's not there. And it's just it's just weird how we all grow and heal through uniformity. Feels like being the leader of a. Hey, listen, in the 48 Laws of Power, create a cult-like following is in there.
Yo,
That's a good
I'm the
book to
queen
read.
bee, and it fucking creeps me out that I have a bunch of worker bees that come to my chat and talk. Let's just talk about that.
I do like what you have going on though. I mean, your community is amazing.
We are a hive.
I love the interaction, and I love your, I don't want to say gimmick because it's not a gimmick, but I love how you've created this. Like you said, you're the queen bee, and you have all these worker bees. Like, I love that concept. It's great. Anything for you, my queen. Oh, here we go.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not gonna say the word.
You took the words out of my mouth. You took the words out of my mouth.
Earlier, because somebody said that in your chat when I was there. You
Yes.
were like, "Oh
I'm
my
pretty sure it was
god!"
him. Yeah.
It was Dolphin. He was in the voice chat.
You know what though?
Yeah.
I like that because it's not negative. It's appreciation. It's for the memes. It's for the fun, but it's still respect, and it's great that the community that you've created has so much fun being a part of something that you find and feel amazing about.
Well,
it's just like
there's that trust there, right?
Yeah.
And building that trust and allowing people to be who they are in my chat and not judging them for it. And it allows people to feel open and, meme and joke and troll each other. And it's, no hard feelings at all.
So you literally created a veteran version of bees.
Yeah.
That's really what you did. And I don't mean that I mean, because, me, Pop-Tart, and Professor, we bust each other's balls all the time. Usually it's in his Discord or in our private chat, but to me, that's a sense of respect. Because if I don't fuck with you, I don't like you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And a lot of people see that negative, but I'm like, okay, so if I'm not allowed to be me around you, then I just shouldn't talk to you.
Man said, "Panic." Wasn't ready for this one. He said, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, he got brought up in the conversation. You're famous now, Dolphin.
Run. I wish I had the button, but I don't have it set up. So scatter. There you go.
I'm fat fuck boy.
Yeah, he usually does the smoke bomb and runs out of chat. That's his escape method.
That's fantastic, though, and and it's nice that. I'm thankful for you guys, for everybody that showed up today. Communities, raids, I think relationships have grown today in no form. I mean, this wasn't meant to be like, hey, let's grow each other, blah blah blah. It's just fucking people sitting around hanging out. Like this needs to happen more in society, even if it's just like this: Zoom, Discord, TeamSpeak, non-toxic Call of Duty lobbies.
Yeah.
Yes. I would love
Appreciate that, Fall. I hope you enjoy my audio because I love that song.
No,
It's
because this is literally like I was saying earlier. This is, I'm privileged to be in here, like, and that's what people don't get too. Is like, yeah, I stream.
I think TeamSpeak turned into some other company as well, but yeah, they do.
They said, do people still? I'm privileged
They
to
do.
be a part of this. I'm privileged to know some of these people. I'm privileged that I played them. You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I was drunk as shit, and I ain't played Rainbow Six in a long time. But I had a moment. Genevieve can tell you, I had a moment. I was like, "Oh, it's coming back to me. It's coming back to me." I said, we lit."
He was panicking at
Appreciate
first.
that, Blondie. Appreciate that.
He was panicking at first because he's like, "Oh, I'm at the bottom of the leaderboard. Like, oh no, like I've lost my touch." And then the next game, he was second frag, and then the following game, MVP.
You do such things.
Like, he's like, "I've got my group back." I'm like, "Yeah, let's go." You know what I mean?
I'm always at the bottom of the leaderboard. I'm used to it. I keep it nice and cozy down there.
The man with the toughest shoulders is always the base of the foundation for growth.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
I hold the squad together.
Oh! He called you a power bottom. You're so fucked.
Yes.
You're so fucked.
But you were talking about relationships earlier, Pendo, and Blonde said that, people from Twitch paid, like, they helped her after, her relationship ending, and her gaming allowed her to be relieved of stress. And it's just amazing that, her community was able to lift her up and help her when she, needed it the most. And I can completely relate to that. I moved out west to be with someone from Twitch, and he didn't turn out to be who he was. In my community, my PC goal to buy a new PC turned into moving back to my other province goal, and they helped me afford to be able to drive back home.
That's amazing.
That's awesome. I mean, that's huge. Thank you, Jen's community, for being so supportive.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all are.
Listen,
nuts. I'm not even privileged to even be close to that beehive, but I'll sneak in every now and then. I'll sneak every now and then and put a little love in there.
Yeah, we're kind of a cult. Sorry.
You know what's funny too? You say that, but like it'd be even smaller shit than that. It'll be Kev. I'll post like, "Hey, I'm not feeling good today."
Mm-hmm.
He'll hit me up and be like, "Hey, you all right?"
Mm-hmm.
Or the next day, "How you feeling?" And I'm just like, "You
That's
actually
right
give,
Yeah.
you actually care enough to check on me."
Yeah, checking in on people is so important.
I get that all the time from most of them are veteran buddies of mine, because I guess they just can relate. I can relate more to veterans than I can civilians, and I don't mean that disrespectfully. It's just
it's
two
a whole
different ways of
ball game.
thinking. It's just two different ways of thinking. Not that one's right or wrong. It's just, when you go through boot camp and you're beaten down to the point where you're nothing and you're brought back up to being brothers and sisters. It's different than it is when you just have your own individuality when you're out living your life. And I love it. I love the fact that people will go out of their way to make sure other people are okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have a friend of mine, her name's Annette. She does a wild ride called Life. It's this huge podcast, this whole blog thing where she invites you to this blog to write your story because everybody needs to hear your story. I was actually just wearing her shirt yesterday. It says, "Do work that matters." And it's funny because, I talk to her all the time, and she was I'm trying to figure out the politest way. She was sexually abused in the military.
survivor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I'm sitting here and I commend her all the time that I'm so glad that you came out and told people. People need to know. The world needs to know that this fucking shit happens outside of in the civilian world. It's even worse in the military
because you can't say shit for real.
You can't say anything. Usually what happens, it's usually done by a superior. And it's always, well, if you talk, I'm gonna make your life a living hell. And it's just a under your thumb kind of feel.
Power.
and it's so enlightening that people are. I actually know a couple of people that advocate for this, because Carrie with Soldier Girl Coffee, one of my sponsors, she was also one as well.
I was
And
there for that podcast.
Yeah.
do
I
what?
remember that. I was there for that podcast.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah,
she
yeah.
was talking about it.
And she was talking about it, and it's like, it's so amazing that we as people
Dougie.
have gotten to the point now where we can be open about most topics. And I say most topics because there's still not even topics that are identified yet that anybody wants to talk about.
Awareness is just so important. So for them to come forward and to bring their power back to them, that in itself is it's incredible for them to be able to come forward for other women that, or men, or whoever that may have had something similar happen to them that didn't know that they could talk about it.
I'm gonna go
Or
Keanu Reeves.
didn't
No,
want to talk about it.
you're fantastic.
I just want to say, like, oh, Savage Wolf, bro. I
What's up,
appreciate
Sav?
you being here. That's my man.
Hey, listen, you
I used to
showed
work
up.
with
High
him.
five.
Love him to death. He's like a little brother. I think I'm older than him. Either way, I'm still the big brother. You feel me? But no, this kind of thing. What this whole ordeal we just had, right? This whole interaction, and I'm gonna get corny real quick.
Are you gonna get cornier than ethanol?
I hate you. No, it's just, this is beautiful. This is fucking beautiful. Like, if I stop streaming tomorrow, right? No one can take away the fact that we had this conversation without so many people with so much influence tiptoe and dance around this kind of shit because they're too weak to do it, or they're too afraid to upset their constituency. But if your constituency advocates for people to be mistreated, then fuck you and your constituency. And that's how I feel about that. Like, women, transgendered folks, black people, white people, men, women, kids, I don't give a fuck, down to emus and muskrats. Just show people some fucking respect. Just show people some love.
Even naked mole rats get it.
It's not hard. To give somebody, to say hello is fucking free. It is free. It costs you nothing.
I am going to say one that because of COVID and everyone has had a different situation, a darkness of some sort, probably that are going through different things. The Twitch community has brought faith back for me, at least, because I was going through a tough time myself. And then I started streaming, and it helped me so much. And in such a time that I never knew that the gaming community of all things would be the brightness that brought it back. It's wild.
I agree. Like, even what Jen said, it's amazing at how humanity, and I say that just to overview everybody, can see somebody going through a negative time, because you can read it. It's like everywhere. I mean, I can even, when I watch my VODs over, I'm like, fuck, man, I had the wrong attitude. I should have never streamed that day.
Yeah.
But what's amazing is people can be so selfless. They didn't give Jen money and the ability to move back home and all that stuff because they felt sorry for her. Yeah. You know what I mean? They didn't do it as a handout either. They did it as a hand up to lift her spirits, and just, I mean, people have done that for me. Literally every part in my PC right now, outside of the power supply and the tower, was gifted to me because they saw how much struggle I was going through with that fucking piece of shit right there on the wall. Okay. It was bad. It was bad. And, it's amazing that people can look. I'll touch your butt later. It'll be all right.
Hey, chill.
He don't want that. He wants to stay there.
But that's the point where I'm trying to say. It's amazing that people go out of their way. I mean, they really do. COVID and this entire, whatever you want to call it, has taken away so much from people. You know, their ability to communicate, their ability to even look at somebody's mouth while they're talking and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
And to be able to gain that back and have the support that people need through this really trying time is inspirational. It really is. So, but I'm with y'all to be done in 3 minutes and 30 seconds if y'all are good.
Hold on. Can we get
I'm
one
home.
Hey.
thing real quick?
Maybe.
Wolf, you're not by yourself, brother. Hit me.
Wait.
Hit the Discord.
Hold
Call
up.
me. We are out here. You know you're the homie. Stop it. Come on now.
Yeah.
Hit-
Do
hit
not
me.
do
Seriously,
not make
hit
me
me
punch
after
you in the
this.
heart with love because it's
Hit
gonna
me.
happen.
Hit me. We out here.
There's, you know, I get what it's like to feel down and to want to, you know, look inward and not bother people with your issues or whatever it may be. But you know what? There are people there for you, even if it is just a community on Twitch, as if you see it as minimal as that. But it is a big deal. There are people that are surrounding you that are there for you. And, you know, sometimes it's just, you know, you just have to change your focus from inward to outward to be able to see that.
You know, I've learned.
I can see why you have a cult. You talk very well. I love
Yeah,
it.
I agree. Helping others has actually
I
helped
see why you
myself.
have a cult. That's crazy. It's lovely.
You know, like when Pop Tart and I first met, we met through a Facebook page of a person we both knew, and I ended up popping in his stream, and I'm like, bro, what's your internet like? Like, where are you at? And he told me, and I'm like, dude, there's no way your stream should look like this. So, and we went through all the details of everything he has, and now look at him, crisp. I'm talking like it. I don't even look through glass when I see him. Like he's just on point. And it makes me feel good because I know that I now
Yeah.
created this relationship by being selfless. It didn't cost me anything. It just took time. You know, and I've done that for at least 15 other streamers. I actually tried to run like a streamer boot camp, but you know, I'm not Harris Heller. All right. You know, I ain't some dude that has like $14 bajillion worth
his
of everything.
production is fire.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. It is amazing. And like he's even got better hair because he got that like cool
Oh my
boy
goodness.
fro flip deal. It makes
Yo,
all the
look at the
girls
set.
melt.
She's like, oh my god.
That hair.
I hate
He's funny. I like him, but oh
He's-
my goodness,
he's
that
good.
hair.
You know, and it's just like, you know, I'm sure that there's been times where you guys have helped somebody else that where, you know, I love the fact that I can make somebody's day by just talking with them.
Mhm.
Cause like I've had some people, I'm like, hey man, I'm gonna end my stream, but just pop in Discord real quick. Let's hang out for a hot minute. And then we talk and he's like, dude, I haven't talked to anybody in a week.
Oh.
That saddens me because
Yeah.
like, what's going on? And then they tell me, I'm like, dude, it's not that bad. It's like, let me tell you about the time I slept in my car for a year and a half. Let me tell you about the time where I met this homeless dude that hasn't seen his family in 15 years. Like, your life isn't that bad. Yes, it is a struggle right now. Yes, it is a speed bump, but you're
But
still
there-
moving forward.
There is a light at the end of that dark ass
Always.
tunnel, baby.
Yeah.
You
Because-
might not
Just
see it,
might
but
be
it's
hard
there.
to see. Yeah.
You know,
And
and sometimes it takes people seeing other people's struggles to realize that it's not so bad for them, but minimalizing someone else's struggle,
Ain't that
and
good either.
you know, portraying because someone else's struggle is worse per se. Like, it's, you know, that's just here and there to me. But I truly think, you know, putting other people's problems on your shoulders, yes, I get that. I am an empath. I am the exact same way, where I worry about what others are dealing with and not so much focusing inward on myself. And then when, you know,
And you
depression
hold it
hits,
all
you
in.
kind of you suck it all in.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's hard to, you know, express that because you've been dealing with other people's problems and you don't want to, you know, put yourself out there. So I completely understand. And, you know, there's people here for you. So
Yeah, we out here. We out here, brother. You already know what time it is. Shit. I gotta go to bed, but you can still call me, brother. Because
All right, listen, I
it ain't that cool.
appreciate
I ain't
the whole
that
Bane
cool.
thing.
It's been great. Thank you so much for having me.
I was
Yeah,
born into it.
thank
Hey,
you.
Born
Decay, it's all
by it.
brother.
Yeah,
You
I
got-
feel you.
Decay, again, like we had this conversation. Fam, you here now. It's love. It is what it is. You got people got shit going on.
Hey,
I'm not the center of your
I
Vin
existence.
know.
Diesel said it best.
But thank you.
By an inch or a mile, winning's winning. Same thing as showing up or not showing up. It's winning. You're doing it right.
We out here. But on that note, are we raiding someone? Is it a centralized raid or is it?
I'm gonna no. So what it is I'm gonna raid my buddy. If you want to raid somebody that's on your community list, it's gonna take whoever's in my chat and send them to my guy, and whoever's in your chat, you'll raid somebody and send them that way. So
Okay.
I'm gonna raid my boy Savage Vet.
I was thinking the same thing.
Fuck it, let's do it.
Yo, somebody hit up Miss Etcher-Sketch. She's on.
Wait, what?
Yeah, she was
Oh yes.
streaming tonight.
Oh
yeah.
well then, fuck that shit. Oh,
It's Toxic Tuesday in Warzone for her.
Oh, perfect.
oh fuck.
She is live.
Fuck.
Yo, I'm terrible. What am I
She is
doing?
live.
Dude,
That is.
I got
that
you.
is
Don't worry.
my
I got
mistake.
you.
I'm glad you're here, bro, because I definitely
might be-
almost fumbled that one.
I might be quiet, but I know what I'm doing.
Sammy out here making calls. Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Let's blow her stream up. Let's do
Let's
that.
do it.
Let's do that.
It's about
Hey,
to
I
pop the
appreciate
fuck
you
off.
all. We need to have more conversations like this.
Yes.
All the ladies that showed up here. You guys are way more exceptional than you could ever know.
Way more.
And I appreciate you.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you
me.
for having us.
Let's
Appreciate
get
you
it.
from.
Let's go, Rick.
Let's get it. Pop Tart out.
I agree completely. I'm not gonna hit an ending. We just gonna go the second your raid goes through, just end it because we gotta pop off like that.
All right, yeah. My raid went 3. Want me to stop?
All right, we here.
No, yep, go ahead, man. All right, guys, catch y'all later. Peace.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for having me.
Hey, no